Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sudhana, you're looking very different. Exam pressure, you're looking smart. Navya, all the chits have gone behind you. No chits are visible now.
Sir, I'm in PG.
Okay. Good to see you guys after a long time, I think. How are you? How is studies? GST is giving tough time or IPL is giving tough time? Good, no, they lost yesterday also, so there's no motivation to see the matches. Right. Okay. Shall we start? So what I'm planning to do is take first 4 chapters today. We will have 3 classes today, tomorrow, and the day after. So I will take the first 4 chapters today so that it is easy for you also to read. Okay, so though I would suggest you to read from the institute material as well, but I will take you through the CAPS material and highlight the important points or revise the important points which might be a little difficult for you to read. Okay, so first 4 chapters, and then we will solve few problems as well. Okay, which may be related to what we have discussed, which may not be related to what we have discussed, but anyways that syllabus has already been done. Okay, so we'll solve 2-3 problems also so that you get some confidence on how to solve the problems as well. Right? Can we start? Okay, right. I will just share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Just keep giving thumbs up, thumbs down, depending on whether you like, you don't like. Okay, but just keep reacting to whatever is happening. Okay, don't give surprised look, otherwise it becomes a problem for me. Right? Okay, so let's go through the sections first. Though the requirement is that you don't remember the section, but it is always better to know the sections. Correct? So section first is CGST Act is of 2017. So whenever you write the CGST Act or the SGST Act, write 2017. Never write SGST Act because there is nothing called as SGST Act. It is concerned state GST Act because there is Karnataka GST, Tamil Nadu GST, or you can write corresponding state GST Act, but never write state GST Act. Is this clear? Okay. And whatever section is applicable for the CGST Act is also equally applicable for the SGST Act. Don't act too smart and don't write that section for IGST also. IGST is completely different and most of the topics are not there in your syllabus at all. So IGST don't touch, UTGST don't touch. Clear? Okay. Section 1, short title, extent, commencement. So what does section 1 says? This act applies to the whole of India, right? Except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And it will apply from 1st July 2017. And on 8th July 2017, that is after 1 week, okay, GST was introduced even in Jammu and Kashmir. So from 8th July, it is applicable to whole of India. From 1st July 2017, it is applicable to whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Correct? Okay. What is India? All the states, all the union territories, okay, all put together, plus 200 nautical miles. Clear? So 200 nautical miles from the Goa beach. After exam, run to Goa. Don't stay in Bangalore. So when you go to Goa, any beach where you're keeping your legs and moving them in the nice water, from that 200 nautical miles is all India. That does not mean you swim and go and say I don't want passport. Only for the purpose of GST it is India. Is this clear? And against this entire property, the water below and the air above is also India. So if in Mumbai Stadium a 6 is hit by Dhoni and it goes beyond a particular level, it is not going outside India. It is in India only because the air above is also India. Clear? So even if it goes to an aircraft, touches the aircraft and comes back, it was in India, it is in India, it will remain in India only. Clear? Okay. Section 2, all the definitions are covered in section 2. Please remember only important definitions. Section 2, subsection 52, goods. Section 2, 102, services. Section 2, subsection 17, business. Section 2, subsection 31, consideration. These 4 definitions more than sufficient. Clear? Okay. 3 to 6. not applicable to us. Proper officer, improper officer, we don't have to learn. Okay, so 3 to 6 not relevant for us. 7, concept of supply, very, very important. 8, composite supply and mixed supply, very important. 9, very, very important, section 9. 7, 8, 9, very important, you cannot forget. Okay, section 7 says, what do you mean by supply? 8 says, when it is a supply, how will you treat it to be? Whether it will be a composite supply or a mixed supply. 9, charging section. 10, composition scheme. 11, the subject, the chapter which we never remembered. Which one? Exemptions under GST. 12, time of supply of goods. 13, time of supply of services. 14, not in our syllabus, enjoy. 15, valuation under GST. How do we value the goods and services? 16, input tax credit. 17, blocked credit. 18, trades under special circumstances. Now here if you will observe 3 sections. Okay, likewise in registration also 22, 23, 24, voluntary registration, registration not required, and mandatory registration. These are the important sections you have to remember. That does not mean you have only 24 sections. And so in your study material, if there is section 34 for debit note and credit note, you will not read. No. These are important sections which you cannot forget. If you can remember section 34 also for debit note and credit note, excellent, very good, right? In BCom, out of all the questions, we would answer all, and optional question also we would answer. Correct? No. So if you know extra, no problem. If you know less, that is when it is a problem. Clear? Okay. Right. Now, if you go to the institute material, institute website, they have given beautiful study material, which we will not read. But they have given study guidelines where they say what you should not read. Please read that at least. No. Correct. So there they say rate of tax. You don't have to remember. Do you know what is the rate of tax on vegetables? Exempt, but no use. It will not be asked in the examination. Okay, what is the rate of tax on air conditioners? 28%. No use. It is not applicable in examination. Rate of tax on cars? 28%. No use, because rate of tax on goods and services is not applicable to how many products you will remember. Correct. So they only said we will torture you on something else. On rates, we will not torture you. Right? Okay. Next, reverse charge mechanism on goods, not applicable. Reverse charge mechanism on services, part of the syllabus under here, it is not partly applicable. Everything is applicable. It is part of the syllabus. Fully, it is part of the syllabus. Clear? Exemption, very important. I keep seeing lot of questions are asked, but very difficult to remember. So we will see how we can remember the exemptions also. Okay, determination of supply, whether it is CGST, SGST, or IGST. If you see the problems, they will only say, please assume all the transactions to be intrastate, or please assume all the transactions to be interstate, because that is not part of our syllabus. Then any questions relating to input service distributor, TDS, TCS, and online information database access retrieval services, not applicable. Then provisions relating to change in rate of tax, that is section 14, not applicable. If a product is used for taxable services and exempt services, how to identify the credit? Not applicable. If valuation section cannot be applied, how to do the valuation? Open market value, not applicable to us. Okay, so lot of syllabus is not there for us. Only very less syllabus is there. So GST is not a very difficult topic. It is a very, very easy topic. Correct? No, I'm sure all of you are able to follow that when you have started reading now. At least now you're reading, so you know, so easy, no? GST, good and simple tax, right? Okay, now let's go to GST, introduction of GST, Harshita. Okay, now GST from 2007-8 they have been talking about it. It is like metro. 20 years back they started talking about it, but finally when did it come? It got introduced on 1st July 2017 itself, not before that. Clear? So from 2007-8 they were talking about it. In 2016 they amended the Constitution of India, and on 1st July 2017 they introduced GST into India. Okay, GST is a value added tax. That means I pay tax on the value added by me, right? We will look at the examples also to understand how it is a value added tax, right? Before GST came into picture, there were so many taxes which I had to pay. If I import goods, I had to pay customs duty. If I buy the goods locally, I had to pay VAT. If I manufacture the goods, I had to pay excise duty. If I get the goods from outside the state, I had to pay entry tax as well as central sales tax. And then if I had to install the machinery, I had to pay service tax and Krishi Kalyan says, Swachh Bharat says, this says Krishi, what do you say, secondary and higher education says, so many cesses I had to pay, right? So with GST coming in, all that goes out of the window, and what I have to pay only is GST on any supply of goods or services, whether it is manufacture, not a manufacturer, entry into another state, services, goods, no differentiation. On everything, I will pay GST. Clear? So let's look at an example of how GST has changed the way taxation works. If you observe stage of manufacturing of a machinery, totally the amount of final selling price becomes 1,54,000 because I keep paying tax, on tax, right? But whereas though the GST rate is 18%, which is lower than the VAT of 14.5%, the tax which I'm paying is only 1,44,550. The reason is whatever tax I have paid earlier, I get input credit of that. Let's take an example again, and the same example which I gave in the class. Okay, there is iPhone which is available. They say as soon as you finish your IPCC exams on Flipkart, your Inter exams, you give your roll number, okay, as your promo code. We will integrate our servers with CA Institute server. If you pass, 25% discount on iPhone, and this discount will be given to you by way of cashback. So after your results are announced and you have cleared both the groups, you put in your Flipkart account or Paytm account your roll number as your promo code, and you get 25% discount. Okay, what you will have to do, you pay 1 lakh rupees, the iPhone is delivered to your house, and after the iPhone is delivered, in your account 25,000 is given to you. Correct? So though you paid 1 lakh rupees, the effective cost to you is how much? Only 75,000. Now what to do with the 25,000 rupees? The 25,000 rupees, next time when you make the purchase, when you go to CA final, you by that time iPhone XX 5, 6, 7 something would have come. Okay, that time the 2 lakh rupees iPhone, you can reduce this 25,000 rupees from that pay. Correct? So that is what is cashback. Same way, government said, even I have to change with time. Everybody is giving cashback. I should also give cashback. So if somebody purchases something, you pay the full money, 118 rupees you pay. Okay, but that 18 rupees will be sitting in your electronic credit ledger. Okay, in your online account, it will be sitting. So like you put here your username and password, in GST portal also you will have a login ID and password. You put there, you will have the amount in your electronic credit ledger. Whenever you make a sale, instead of paying it in cash, you will say, look, yesterday I purchased laptop. On that I have paid the GST already to you. Give me the cash back. So that is called input tax credit. Government is giving us cash back. Is this clear? Right? No tension, no till now. Aram se relax. Don't give such tensed looks to me. Please calm down. There is nothing which is going to happen. Nothing out of syllabus is going to come. Just relax and understand. Okay, don't be in a stress. Oh, I have not understood this, what will happen? Don't worry. See, there are two things. Last 1 year you have been reading, you have not understood. Don't worry, you will not understand in 1 hour. Okay, but if you have been reading, you're not able to recollect, don't worry, you go through this. When you start reading and you start writing short notes, believe me, in examination, page by page, whether you have written these notes on the left hand side or the right hand side of your notebook, whether you read it in green color in institute material or gray color in my material, you will be able to remember. Okay, so don't be so tensed. Clear? Relax, arms and relax, as if you are watching one movie. Please, under the session, if you don't understand, what a twist. I thought this is the answer. No, that is the answer. Correct? That's what happens in movies also. No. So please attend like that with the open mind. Clear? Okay. You guys are relaxed? Want to drink some water? Because whoever is there on the screen, everybody is so tensed. I am thinking whether I am taking too lightly or not. Right? So don't be so tensed. See, Saivin has already removed his spectacles. Now I am worried. Whenever he removes his spectacle, I am tensed. My God, what happened? Right? Okay. So now let's understand some features. Sai Vinay, perfect. Now you're looking good. Okay. So now let's look at what are the features of GST. GST is a destination-based consumption tax. What do you mean by destination-based consumption tax? It means the state where the goods are going to be consumed, that state will get the revenue. So if from Bangalore the goods are going to Bangalore, you are in Bangalore, after CA exams are over, you will come meet all your friends in our school, come to Banshankari BDA complex, go to Domino's Pizza, eat properly and go home. Where have you consumed the food? Banshankari BDA complex. It is as of now in Bangalore only. So the goods were originated in Bangalore and consumed also in Bangalore. So the revenue will go to which state? Karnataka. So what will the vendor charge? CGST and Karnataka GST. Clear? But now you want to go on a holiday. So where did you go? You went to Goa. And now when you're going to Goa, you have gone there for 15 days. You realize that you have forgotten your favorite shoes. So then what you will do? You will go to Amazon and order for another shoes. Nobody will do. Just we are giving examples. So exaggerated examples will take. Okay. So you are in Goa and your favorite shop is in Bangalore. So you have Amazon Prime membership. Next day they have to deliver in Goa to you, or 2 days later they have to deliver it to you in Goa. The supplier was where? Bangalore. Where are you located? On the baseline of India, beach, Kalangut beach, you are standing. Correct? No, that is outside Karnataka. So the goods are getting consumed in Goa. The shoes are getting consumed in Goa. That will be a IGST transaction. Is this clear? Right? So destination-based consumption tax means that the state where the goods are consumed will get the revenue. Right? Then next, the tax will be applicable only on the value addition. That is what we discussed. See, here I have my selling price of goods is 1 lakh, but purchase price is 60,000 rupees. So effectively the value which I've added to the goods is 40,000 rupees. Though on my selling price I will charge a tax of 18,000, but on my purchase I already have a cashback of 10,800. So finally, what is the tax I'm going to pay to the government in cash? 7,200. How do I calculate that? 40,000 multiplied by 18%, or 1 lakh into 18% is 18,000 minus 10,800, 7,200. So I will end of the day pay tax only on the value added by me to the product. That is why it is called tax on value addition. Third, seamless flow of credit. See, earlier what was happening? I am shopper stop. I have taken a big premises next to Forum and I am paying rent to my landlord. I pay service tax on that. So input tax is central government. I am selling clothes. Output tax is VAT. Input is central. Output is state. Will they talk to each other? Today, both are BJP. So they might talk. Otherwise, generally in Karnataka, if state is BJP, central will be Congress. Reverse only. So they will not talk to each other. Correct? So input of center cannot talk to output of the state. But now in GST, what happens? Input is CGST and SGST. Output is also CGST and SGST. Seamless flow of credit. Everything I will get credit. Whether the tax is for services or for excise or for customs duty. Everything I'll be able to enjoy the credit. Right? Avoids cascading effect of tax. That means I don't have to pay tax on tax. If I am not able to claim the credit from my costing angle, what I will do? The expenses which I have incurred, which are not my cashback, I will add it to my cost of goods sold. Correct? So my value of the product increases. That means my selling price increases. I am very, very expensive. In the international market, nobody will buy my product. To avoid that, government said, I will not levy any taxes to you, which is a cost to you. Everything will be credit to you, everything available to you as cashback. So that means cascading effect is avoided. And I'm sorry, because the cascading effect is avoided, I am more competent in the international market. Okay. But if everywhere I get credit, who will pay the tax? How will government get the money? Government will get the money from the end customer like you and me. Whenever GST number is not given, that means it is end consumption. That means government gets the money. Is this clear? Okay. Now, why was GST required? Because before GST, there were multiple taxes overlapping taxes, no entitlement of input tax credit. That was the reason why GST had to be bought in. How was the GST bought in? Because states had the powers to levy tax on sales. Center had the power to levy tax on manufacture and service tax. Right? They had to amend the constitution and say now both the center and the state will be given the powers to levy tax on the same transaction. Right? That is when Article 246A came into picture. Very, very important. In case of Act, we will have section. In case of Constitution, we will never have section. We will have article. Is this clear? Okay. And in case of IPL, we will have ignore button. Correct? No? Yeah. Very good. Now, how does the entire framework of GST work? One, there will be dual GST unless it is a interstate transaction where IGST is applicable. It will be a dual GST. That means center also will control and state will also control. Okay, there will be two concepts: intrastate supply and interstate supply. Intrastate, when the origin and consumption is same state. When origin and consumption are two different states, that is called interstate. This is done. Now, how governments get the revenue? See, all this is chapter 1. Time pass, correct? No, but I have seen short notes are being asked on all these, and even objective type questions are asked. So please don't ignore chapter 1. Okay. Distribution of revenue. How do we get the revenue? CGST portion will go to central government. SGST portion will go to the relevant state government. UTGST will also go to the central government only. It will not go to union territory. Then the central government will allocate funds to the union territory. Okay. IGST does not go to anyone. It will sit in one account. And whenever the IGST is set off against some other tax, okay, we'll look at some problems. I have a IGST credit, I'll set it off against CGST. When it is set off against CGST or SGST, that much portion of IGST gets transferred to CGST or gets transferred to SGST. Let's take an example. In my Paytm account, there is 100 rupees. Okay, whose revenue it is? Nobody's revenue. It is a balance lying. Whenever I want to withdraw, I can withdraw. Okay, now I use that to pay to my auto guy who is dropping me to the exam hall. Today, all examples relating to exams only. Okay, so when I'm going to the exam hall, I book a auto, not through Ola. I stopped him and said, please take me to the examination center. He said, pay me money. I said, I don't have change. Please give me the QR code. He shows me the QR code. I make the payment through Paytm and 50 rupees gets deducted. Okay, who had this money? Paytm. Whose money it is? My money. Now, when I show the QR code and the money is transferred to the auto guy will get 50 rupees. Okay. After exam, I want to have a cup of coffee. Right. So I went to Adigas next to the exam hall and had to pay 10 rupees. No change. Again, I will scan and pay 10 rupees. Who had the money? Paytm had the money. Now it goes to whom? It will go to hotelier. Likewise, IGST will be sitting in one account. The moment you adjust it against CGST, central government gets that money. You adjust it against Tamil Nadu GST, it will go to Tamil Nadu government. You are able to follow? Right? Okay. Now, credit utilization, very important. All the problems, you will face this issue. How to utilize the credit. Now, I have IGST credit. First thing I have to remember is IGST has to be adjusted against IGST. If I have any credit left over, it can go to CGST or SGST the way I want to. 100% to CGST, 0 to SGST. 100% to SGST, 0 to CGST. Or in our case, I would suggest you 50% to CGST, 50% to SGST. Is this clear? Right? IGST against IGST, leftover 50% to CGST, 50% to SGST. Right? So now IGST has become 0. Right? Now I have some CGST credit. CGST credit has to be set off against CGST liability only first. Then after that, if I have anything, I can set off against IGST liability. Clear? Third, after I have set off IGST, after I've set off CGST and there is no CGST liability, I will go to SGST. SGST can be used only against SGST, and once I've made the SGST liability 0, it can go against IGST. But CGST cannot go against SGST, SGST cannot go against CGST. See, reason is very simple. Arvind Kejriwal and Modi ji don't talk to each other. SGST cannot be set up against CGST, CGST cannot be set up against SGST because they don't go to each other's house, they don't talk to each other. Is this clear? Right? And SGST of one state cannot be set up against SGST of another state. Arvind Kejriwal and Bommaya will not talk to each other. So we cannot set off. Clear? Okay. It solves a few problems. We'll solve a few more after today's class. But just here, if you observe, I have shown, if I have highlighted here, first IGST, then CGST against CGST, then CGST against IGST, then SGST against SGST 4, and then SGST against IGST. That sequence I have given here. You are able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Deepa madam, welcome. Toss you are watching, 8 o'clock my match.
No, sir. I had office.
Okay, right, yeah. Next, GST portal. Now everything has to be done on the GST portal only. Nothing has to be done manually. I have to file an application for registration online. I have to file refund application online. I have to shout at the officer online. Personally, everything online. Correct? I have to file an appeal online. So anything which has to be done in GST will be through a GST portal, that is www.gst.gov.in. Only for the purpose of generation of e-way bill or for the generation of e-invoicing. Separate portals are there, but that is also online. Clear? Okay. Now GST Council. What is GST Council? If somebody has to shout at somebody, there will be some seniors now in house. They will get together and then they shout at us. This guy is not fit for anything. He does not read at all. That work is done in our government by GST Council. So what they will do, all the finance ministers of the state and the finance minister of the center will come, sit together, keep arguing about each other, keep shouting about each other. Okay. And then little bit they will discuss about what are the amendments to be made in GST. That is called GST Council. Who is GST Council? All the finance minister of the state and the finance minister of the center. All of them will sit together, discuss about GST problems. Okay, not your problem, not the exam problems. Overall economic problems of GST, they will discuss. Okay. Now, they have to decide on a solution by vote, because in India, everything is by way of majority. Okay, it's not put in that either you agree or I'll shoot you. Correct? No, right? So here we are a democratic country as of now, right? So everything has to be by way of vote. But Andaman and Nicobar, you've seen Andaman and Nicobar? If this is India map, no, this is Andaman and Nicobar. Can you see it? No, that is the point. See, Andaman and Nicobar will have one vote. Karnataka, which you can see yellow color in the map, that is one vote. Whole of India, one vote. Doesn't make sense, no? So what they said, all the states will get voting right. India also will get, Indian finance minister, the finance minister of the whole of India will also get voting right. But what is the voting right for India, Indian finance minister? He will get 1/3 of the entire vote. So his vote is 33.333333%. Okay. The balance votes, that is 66.6666% will go to all the finance ministers, right? Put together. So divided by number of people who are voting or present in that meeting. Okay. Now, for anything to be approved in the GST Council, more than 75% vote has to be received. If center says yes, all states say no, what is the percentage of yes? 33%. Nothing will happen. If all the states say yes, center says no, what is the percentage of yes? 66.66. Nothing will happen. So how will the resolution be passed? Center has to come, plus some states have to come. Otherwise, the voting cannot go ahead, meaning the approval cannot be received. Clear? That is as far as functioning of the GST Council is concerned. Now, point number 5 is taxes to be subsumed in GST. There are central taxes also which have been subsumed, and the state taxes also which have been subsumed. You can have a look at that. It is there in your institute material also and in the CAPS material also. Please have a look at this. Questions are asked on these also. Please write short notes on. Please find out. Please select which tax has not been subsumed. These are the taxes which have been subsumed. Anything other than that has not been subsumed. Okay. Right. Now, there are few special products on which GST is not applicable. One is alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Right. So only alcoholic liquor for human consumption, Shreya, which you should not be having during exam, only that is outside GST. But when you go to the examination center, before you enter, you can use a sanitizer allowed before the examination. That is liable to GST because that is not for human consumption. That is only for application. Clear? So alcoholic liquor for human consumption, banned for examination also, not applicable. In GST also not applicable. Okay. Sanitizer must have when you enter the examination hall. Also GST is applicable on sale of sanitizers. Clear? Okay. Second, petrol and petroleum products not liable to GST as of now. Section 9 subsection 2 clearly says the GST Council will decide a date when petroleum products will be liable to GST. What are those petroleum products? Petroleum crude, high-speed diesel, whether it is from Ukraine, whether it is from Russia, or whether it is from any other country. Petroleum crude not liable to GST. Clear? High-speed diesel, that is HSD. Motor spirit, not the other spirit. Other spirit is also out. This spirit is also out. The natural gas and ATF, air turbine fuel. All these are not liable to GST as of today. So two kinds of products which are not liable to GST: alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petrol-based products. Okay. Tobacco is liable to GST also and pre-GST tax also, both. Right? Okay. Now government said that please implement GST. All said, why should I listen to you? They said, no, your revenues will grow. State said, what if your revenue does not grow? Okay, I will promise you, if your revenues don't grow by 14% from the base year of 15-16, so GST was supposed to come in 16-17. Okay, then because of some reasons it had to be extended. Okay, so what they did, they took 15-16 as the base, and they said every year you should get a growth of 14%. If you don't get a growth of 14%, that means in your 15-16 your revenue was 100 crores. And in 17-18 it does not become 114 crores. It is only 100 crores. Please come back to me. I will give you that 14 crores. Is what center said. But if it becomes 125 crores, no problem. Don't come back to me. Enjoy. But if you get less tax, okay, come to me. I will compensate that. How will I compensate that? By levying something called as a compensation cess. Okay. So on car, on aerated drinks, and on tobacco, there is something called as a compensation cess which is levied. All this money goes to a separate pool. Any state comes crying to the central government that I have not made sufficient money because of GST, the central government releases the funds to that state. Is this clear? That is introduction to GST. Okay, now let's talk about levy of taxes. Tax is levied under section 9 subsection 1. Section 9 subsection 1 says there shall be levied a tax called CGST on all intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, except alcoholic liquor for human consumption, on the value determined under section 15 at the rate not exceeding 20% and collected in such manner as may prescribe and shall be paid by the taxable person. All the important sections are here only. There shall be levied a tax. Tax is on supply of goods or services, on the value, and the rate of tax is 20%. All the important sections are covered here. Right? Okay. So let's understand what do you mean by supply. Also, let us understand what do you mean by goods or services. What is goods? Section 2 subsection 52 defines the term goods to mean every movable property except money and securities. Correct? Section 2 subsection 102 defines the term services to means anything other than goods and excludes money and securities. Correct? But goods includes actionable claims. Services excludes actionable claims. right? And transaction in money and securities, usage of money and securities for consideration is liable to GST. Money and security is not liable to GST, but usage of money or usage of security for a consideration is liable to GST. Example, if I am going to exchange $1 for 75 rupees, that is transaction in money. But when I pay conversion charges to the bank, that conversion charges is liable to GST. Clear? I buy Reliance share, not liable to GST, but brokerage charged by my broker, on that GST is applicable. Is this clear? Right? So goods, movable property, other than money, securities, but includes actionable fee. Services, other than goods, other than money, other than securities, other than actionable claims, but includes transaction in money or transaction securities for consideration. Is this clear? Right? Okay. Now, what is consideration? Section 2, subsection 31 defines the term consideration. It says consideration means what you have got in return. That what you have got in return can be money or other than money. Let's take an example. I have a laptop. Sudhanva has a laptop. Camera has got spoiled. Correct? Now, all blur only we can see. What movies Sudhanva was seeing, that kind of picture we are able to see is now fully blur. We cannot see anything at all. Correct, no, Shreya? Shreya is able to understand the joke. Right, okay. So now, Sudhanva, after his exams are over, immediately what he wants to do? He wants to change his laptop, or at least the webcam he wants to change. So what he will do, he'll go to Sangeeta. Hey, Sudhanva, not the neighbor. Sangeeta Mobiles. They sell laptop also, right? He will go there. He will ask for pink color laptop. Correct? So that pink color laptop is 75,000 rupees. Sudhanva says, I already have a gray color laptop. Say, okay, gray color laptop, we can give you 20,000 rupees. So Sudhanva gives 20,000, gives the old laptop, plus he gives 55,000 rupees. So for Sangeeta Mobile, they have sold the goods for consideration. What is the consideration? 55,000 cash, 20,000 kind. Both of this is consideration. So consideration can be money or money's worth. Correct? And that consideration can be paid by Sudhanva or Sudhanva's girlfriend also. So Sudhanva's actual girlfriend Sangeeta can also go to Sangeeta Mobile and pay. Correct? No, Sudhanva? She'll not pay. Oh, he knows she'll not pay. Right? So the consideration can be paid by the person who receives the supply, or it can be paid by the third party also. Clear? So it is not necessary that consideration has to be paid by the person who receives the service. A third party consideration is also possible. Okay? But any subsidy by the central government or state government is not consideration. So assuming Swapna madam is manufacturing masks. She's manufacturing beautiful masks, and these are priced at 5 rupees. Central government says, no, this is Laghu Udyog, and any mask manufactured by Swapna or any small scale industry, we will pay 1 rupee to you on every sale. So now what Swapna is able to do? Swapna is able to sell these masks at 4 rupees because she's getting 1 rupee from the central government. So totally she's getting 5 rupees. But tax will be payable only on 4 because subsidy given by the central government or state government should not be treated as consideration. Okay. Now CAPS Foundation sees that Swapna is doing a very good job. They say whenever you sell the mask, 1 rupee I will give you. So Swapna is able to sell these masks at 3 rupees. Correct? 3 rupees her cost and profit plus 1 rupee from CAPS Foundation and 1 rupee from central government. So totally she's getting 5 rupees. Tax is applicable only on the money received plus subsidy from any person other than central government, state government. CAPS Foundation is not state government or central government. So subsidy received by them has to be added and tax has to be paid on the same. Is this clear? Okay. Next, we have deposits, rental deposit. 10 months rent, you please pay deposit. Correct? Deposit is not liable to GST. But if I don't pay the rent and the landlord adjusts the deposit against the rent, when the deposit is applied, that time the deposit will be liable to GST. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Thumbs up, down, something you guys do. Very good. Right? Okay. All this is done. We don't have to discuss. Who is liable to pay tax to the government? Normally, the person who supplies the goods or services. Normally. But if these services are notified under 9(3), okay, which is applicable to us, okay, then it will be liable to tax under reverse charge mechanism. Reverse. Correct? The person who supplies will not pay. The person who receives will pay the tax. Is this clear? Right? Okay. Is also done. Goods and services, all we have done. Okay. Let's look at this example. Okay, this is very interesting. I picked it up from one of the question papers only. Okay, so two ways of looking at it. Already they've asked this question, so they will not ask. They have asked it earlier, so definitely they will ask in my exam also. Correct? No? Right. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at this example. Loan given by the bank. Is it taxable? No, it is a transaction money. Processing fee charged by the bank. Is it liable to tax? Yes, because use of money for consideration. Interest on loan, is it liable to tax? Yes, it is liable to, because it is use of money for consideration. But they have given an exemption under notification 12 of 2017. Credit card interest, use of money for consideration. It is an interest, but exemption has not been given. So credit card interest is taxable. Savings bank account interest is exempt. Right? Conversion of 2000 rupee note to 500 rupee note, it's a transaction money, not liable to tax. But for this conversion, if some amount is charged to me, like $1,000 is being converted to rupees, for which conversion charges are charged by the bank or the foreign exchange operator, on that conversion charges, I will have to pay the GST. Clear? Okay. Apart from that, our discussion on goods and services will be incomplete if we don't discuss Schedule 2, Schedule 3. What is Schedule 2 and what is Schedule 3? Schedule 2 is the nurse in the delivery ward who will look at the baby and say whether it is boy or girl. That's all. So Schedule 2's job is to tell whether a transaction is goods, whether a transaction is service. That's all. Correct? Hegde might be into problem because somebody is listening to the class. Right. Schedule 3 talks about those transactions which are neither treated as supply of goods nor treated as supply of services. Clear? Again, when everything is clear, just do like this, okay? Otherwise, I will not know whether everything is clear or not. Right? So, Schedule 3 talks about transactions which are neither treated as supply of goods nor treated as supply of services. Clear? Very, very important, because if the transaction is in Schedule 3, I am not required to pay the tax. What are the transactions covered under Schedule 3? Services by the employee to the employer in the course of employment is not liable to GST. But employee and employer are related party. So gift given more than 50,000 rupees will get covered in first schedule. Correct? Money given more than 50,000, income tax implication. That will come after 730. Correct? But gift given beyond 50,000 rupees, GST will be applicable. Okay? That is point number 1. Point number 2. Food given to employees for which amount is recovered, liable to GST. Food given free of cost will not exceed 50,000 rupees, so no need to pay tax on it. Clear? Okay. Director, who is an executive director, amount paid to him, no tax. Non-executive director getting sitting and eating fees, liable to tax. In fact, notified under 9(3). Correct? No, Deepa, properly you're eating. Okay. Notified under 9(3), liable to tax under reverse charge mechanism. Clear? Okay. So employee to employee in the course of employment, it is neither a supply of goods nor a supply of services. Second, services by a court or a tribunal engaged in any law for established in any law for the time being in force. Whatever court fee we pay, not liable to GST. Clear? Services given by a MP, MLA, etc. They don't do any service. So they said don't pay GST also. We will pay you salary, free. Enjoy. Okay. So that is why no tax on, don't write all this in exam. This is only for us to remember. Right? Services of funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary, including transportation of a deceased, not liable to tax, because GST is a destination based consumption tax. And where is the destination here? Vaikunta Vahini, from there to Vaikunta, everything exempt. Clear? Okay. Then sale of land, because it is a immovable property, right? Tax is applicable only on movable property. And completed building. Swapna, complete aita building. Okay. So completed building, that means once the occupancy certificate is received, the building is complete, or the first occupation is complete, then the building is complete. After that, if you sell that apartment, no need to pay tax. But if you have sold the apartment before OC, that is occupancy certificate, tax will be applicable. Clear? Okay. First they said goods includes actionable claim. Now schedule 3 says actionable claims no tax except betting, gambling, lottery. All right. That means betting, gambling, and lottery are actionable claims on which tax will be applicable. How much? 28% on betting, gambling, and lottery. Clear? So when you go to Goa, don't go to casinos. 28% tax will you have to pay. Clear? Okay. Then very important, where a lot of questions are asked. If you don't file a bill of entry for home consumption, we discussed quite a bit on this, okay, in our class. If you don't file a bill of entry for home consumption, and before the bill of entry for home consumption is filed, if you sell the goods wherever they are, no need to pay tax. Example, my friend is in Africa, my another friend is in Australia. I tell them, from Africa, please mine one small diamond and send it to Australia. Has the goods entered India? If it is not India, will I file a bill of entry for home consumption? No, that means no tax. So transaction from one non-taxable territory to another non-taxable territory, no need to pay tax. Clear? Right? Second transaction. Okay. What is the second transaction? I am getting goods from Africa. Okay. And even before I file the bill of entry for home consumption, I find another customer. Navya wants to buy that diamond. Okay. I give it to her. Before filing the bill of entry for home consumption, I give it to Navya madam. Okay. The transaction between Navya and me is not liable to tax. Is this clear? Third, I am depositing the goods in a customs warehouse. Customs warehouse is a warehouse where no tax is required to be paid. Okay, that is why it is called a warehouse. It is not a regular warehouse. I have to take approval from the customs that you please give me the approval for warehousing and I will not pay tax to you till I don't remove the goods outside. So I will get the goods, store it in my warehouse and send it to Sai Vinay's warehouse, customs warehouse, not regular warehouse. Okay. In that case also, I don't file a bill of entry for home consumption because when it is in warehouse, it cannot be consumed. It is kept for storage. So there also I will not pay tax. So 3 cases where I will not pay tax: from non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory, from non-taxable territory to sale before bill of entry for home consumption, from one warehouse to another warehouse. In all these 3 cases, I will not pay tax. And I am repeating, warehouse does not mean a regular warehouse. Otherwise, all the goods will go to warehouse only. Nobody will pay tax. Correct? No. We are talking about customs bonded warehouse. Bonded, Andre? Bonded means nobody will pay duty on that. It is bonded. You are bound by it that you will not remove it. And because you are not removing the goods for usage, you are not going to pay tax on the same. Is this clear? Right? Yes, no? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay. No, you don't have any option. Then schedule 2, please have a look at it. What are the transactions classified as goods? Hegde, can I repeat the joke? Vedaila? Okay, no problem. Somebody is listening, eavesdropping into our conversation, right? So schedule 2, please have a look at it. What transaction will be treated as goods? What transaction will be treated as services? Very important. Works contract, construction of building, 70% is goods, 30% is service. Still the transaction is a service. Why, sir? Just like that. Government wanted to treat it as a service. Any problem you have in life? That's all. You write in exam service only. Okay. Food consumed in Domino's, 75% is pizza, 25% is service. Not even service. They don't even give us place to sit and no crockery also. Correct? Still it is treated as a service. Why? They wanted to levy tax as service. Any problem? No. If you have, also keep it with you. Cannot do anything. Correct? No? Right. So that is as far as goods and services concerned. Valuation we will discuss in the next class. Okay, we finished levy, goods and services. Now let's go to supply under GST quickly. Okay. Section 7, very, very important. Okay. Section 7 says, what do you mean by supply of goods, or what do you mean by supply of services? It has lot of subsections. In that subsection, there are subclauses. 7.1a, 7.1b, 7.1c. 7.1a, all conditions have to be satisfied. What are those? Supply for consideration in the course of business. There has to be a supply. I should get something in return, and it should be in the course of my business. Only then tax is applicable. Okay. So only because I got loan from the bank, I will not pay tax, because there is consideration but no supply. Okay. I gave something free of cost. There is supply. No need to pay tax. I am a student preparing for my foundation exam or inter exam. Okay. Somebody said work from home and get money. I worked from home, updated some blogs. I got some 5,000 rupees. It is not in the course of my business. No need to pay tax. Correct? A chartered accountant selling car. Chartered accountant employee. He's an employee in one of the companies. He sold his Audi car of 40 lakh rupees at 25 lakhs. What is the limit for registration? 20 lakhs. He sold it at 25 lakhs. Should he pay tax? There is supply. There is consideration. But it is not his business to buy and sell car. Correct? But a chartered accountant in employment. Sorry, chartered accountant in practice, who has capitalized his car as business asset and sells this car. There is a supply, there is consideration, and business is very, very wide. Business includes anything incidental to business. The moment you have capitalized this car as business asset, it is incidental to your business. Please pay the tax. Clear? Okay. 7.1b. B means B only is not there. Only supply for consideration. Business not relevant. Import of services for consideration, whether or not for business, is liable to tax under 7.1b. 7.1c, C is only not there. 7.1c, transactions covered under Schedule 1, even if there is no consideration, pay tax. If I give anything free, also have to pay tax. Yes, as long as it is covered in Schedule 1, even if you are giving anything free, you have to pay tax. Laptop given to employee worth 70,000 free of cost. There is supply, but I am required, there is no consideration. Still I am required to pay tax, because Schedule 1 says transactions with related party are liable to tax under Schedule 1, are subject to GST, or will be treated as supply of goods or services. Clear? So 7.1a, all conditions. 7.1b, import of services, business is not relevant. 7.1c, go to Schedule 1, no consideration required. Okay. Okay, let's go to Schedule 1. 7.1c is saying go to Schedule 1. Let's go to Schedule 1. What does Schedule 1 say? Schedule 1 says permanent transfer or disposal of business asset on which input tax credit has been claimed. Please pay tax on that. I purchased a laptop, donated to a NGO. Government is saying you want to donate, you donate. You want to do social, social service, you do. Don't compulsorily involve me also in your social service. You have taken input credit from me, telling that you will use it for business. You are distributing to others. Please reverse the input tax credit. So anything given free, you will not, you have claimed the input credit, pay the output tax. But it should be permanent. I gave it to employee for 2 months and took it back. It is not permanent transfer. Correct? If I have the power to take it back, it is not permanent transfer. So I will be still entitled to claim the credit. Not required to pay the output tax. Is this clear? That is 1. 2. Transactions between related parties and distinct persons. Now, what do you mean by distinct persons? You would have seen in your house now. Generally, broom flies. No, only in Harry Potter movie it flies. And now when you're sitting in the house full day in the room, and when moms come, correct, that time only you are sleeping. Then one broom will be thrown at you and it will fly in the room. That is called fiction. Even GST has a legal fiction. What is a legal fiction? If you have a branch office in Bangalore, another branch office in Bangalore, you are two distinct persons. If you have an office in Bangalore, so you have taken GST registration in Bangalore for one registration and for another registration, you are two distinct persons. If you have taken registration for Bangalore office and Chennai office, you are distinct person. These are do jisme ek jaan. For Companies Act, you are one jaan, but for GST, you are do jisme. Correct? No, you are two bodies for the purpose of GST, but you are one body for the purpose of Companies Act. You will file only one balance sheet. Now, don't apply GST knowledge to your accounts and say the branch is different from head office, so we'll prepare different balance sheets. The entire question itself is to consolidate the transaction and prepare one balance sheet. Don't give a note because of GST, this distinct person will prepare different balance sheet. No, for Companies Act, for income tax, for everything else, it is single person. Only for the purpose of GST, they are separate persons. And when there is a transaction between separate persons, even if there is no consideration, tax has to be paid. So I procure something in Bangalore. I send it to my branch in Chennai. It will be liable to tax because it is distinct persons. Is this clear? I have an office in HSR layout. I have an office in Kormangla. I have not taken separate registration. Then I'm a single person. But if I take separate registrations, even in Karnataka, and when I move the goods from one registration to another registration, even though it is in the same state, it will be liable to GST. Likewise, when I'm transacting with related parties, even if I give anything free of cost to my related parties, I am required to pay tax. What is related party? If two companies control me, if I control two companies, if some company has 26% or more control in my company, if I am the subsidiary company of another company, if I am subsidiary of the subsidiary, then the holding company is related to me, correct? Or we have common directors, or we are partners in business, or in case of individual, the wife, spouse, sorry, not wife, spouse and children are related. Parents and brother or sister, only if they are dependent, are related. If they are not dependent, they are not related. Now look at the irony now. Mr. A, his son is related to Mr. A if you are looking from A's perspective. Okay. Mr. A's father is not related to Mr. A because he is totally independent. So for A, A's father is not related to him. But if you look at A's father from his perspective, A is related to him. You're able to follow? Even if you're not able to follow, don't worry, this will not be asked in examination. Don't worry. Right? Only thing you remember is if a dependent parent or if it is dependent brother or sister, then they are related to the taxable person. Otherwise, they are not related. Is this clear? Okay. Brothers from other mothers, not related. Clear? Same mother, only brother is not related. Other mother, how is related? Right? So not related. Now, donation received by a NGO, not for any purpose. Correct? So there is consideration, but there is no supply. No need to pay GST. But if I receive donation for a specific purpose, I am getting donation. We took an example, no? Srivatsa for that Sulabha Swachalaya outside Banshankari BDA complex.
Boarding.
Correct? Ha, Deepa remembers. Very good. So he wants to do advertisement. So he says, I will sponsor the renovation of the entire building. And whenever we come, it stinks. So my perfume should be there everywhere. Sandalwood perfume I will sponsor. For that 5 lakh rupees I will pay. Correct? Now the NGO is receiving money and they will have to give some services in return. There is an obligation to give something in return. That cannot be treated as free money. That money received by NGO will be treated as consideration for a supply liable to tax. Is this clear? Right? Okay. So they've given a circular also. See, if it is good wishes from Mr. Rajesh, donated by, in loving memory of, that means there is no supply. But you say managed and maintained by Purvankara Group. It is advertisement only. Correct? No? With their beautiful logo will be there. One flower will be there, but 10 logos will be there. That we are maintaining this garden. That is advertisement. Is this clear? Okay. Then next, what is business? Section 2, subsection 17. Satra pe khatra. That is how you can remember the definition of business. Business, if you do business, it is dangerous. Right? So section 2, subsection 17 defines the term business. What is business? trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation, adventure, wager, all of this, whether or not for profit. So even if you incur loss, you don't pay income tax. You don't attend income tax class, but GST you have to pay. Because GST is not applicable on profit. It is applicable on a transaction. Clear? Once you are in business, anything incidental or ancillary to that business is also business. Okay. Even if full year you have sold only one book, you are an author. Okay. You thought you will write one book on GST. Full year, one book you have sold. But you are in the business of writing book, even if you have a single transaction. See here, irrespective of the volume, frequency, continuity, or regularity, you will have to pay tax. It is treated that as in you are in business. Okay. All this is fine. All this is covered. Please go through this. Okay. Treatment of sales promotion, gifts, and samples. Very, very important, because there is schedule 1 also. There is 17.5H. Please remember the block trade section is what? 17.5. Right? And the most painful teacher, Hanish, 17.5H. Don't forget that section. Schedule 1, 17.5H. Interplay is there. 17.5H says you will not get input tax credit on anything given by way of gift. Schedule 1 says anything given free of cost, permanent transfer or disposal, you have to pay tax if you have claimed input credit. So if you claim input credit, pay output tax. But if you have not claimed input credit under 17.5H, Schedule 1 will not come into picture. It is mutually exclusive. But please remember these examples. Very, very important. Clear? Pressure cooker with gold coin. Correct? Gold coin with pressure cooker. Jaguar, not toilet fittings. Car with apartment. All these examples you have to remember. Right? All this covered. I think we'll do one thing. Next class, we will go through from here. Principal and agent. Okay. And the import of services. These two will go through. Clear? Okay. That's all was my time, guys. I thought I will cover a lot, but initial part was a little slow. In India, always Chetak, no, we'll have to bend it like Beckham and then kick. Only then we'll understand. Right? Okay. So please read before tomorrow's class at least this much. If you can read beyond that, amazing. Very good. Okay. But at least if you read this much, good progress here. Clear? Any doubts? Please ask me tomorrow. I have the last class, so I can extend beyond whatever time you want me to extend. All right. So any doubts are there, please feel free to ask me. Right? All the very best. Aram se prepare. Don't worry. Very simple topic. Please read. Don't waste your time. Clear? Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You have 5 minutes break, and then the next class will start. So it is 7:33, 7:38. The next class will start. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Make me the host or co-host.
Sir, I have made, sir.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
How are you all?
Fine, sir.
Good evening, sir.
With life? Break is enough? Why my video is not getting on? Video off is there. Why gone aita? Okay, Saka break, all of you back.
Yes.
The revision class. All break also should happen at a faster level. Alva. Revision level le no super slow ಇದೆ. CFL ಜಾನ ಹಾಕ್ತಿರಂದ್ರು starting from April. Inter ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರೀರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, that's the benefit of the seniors. We're starting second group now from April. As usual, every quarter we start first group, second group, first group, second group. So the team CFNL, the direct taxes will be handled by the boss, and costing. There's one more expert from Kerala into the brilliant job, CFL SCMP, by Anish sir, and optional subject will be giving ECM, an open book exam. Any of your friends want to join, they can join. Okay, so let's straight away get into the business. Okay, I'll just show you something different today, and then we'll move further. Different andre subject biಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ನೀವು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಏನೋ ಬೇರೆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಶ್ರೇಯಾ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನೀನು ನೀವು ಯಜಮಾನ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ತೋರಿಸೋಣ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So July 21, if you look at the suggest answer, majority of the recent examination, okay, first question mainly contains business income, mainly. So today we are going to start business income. So either they will give a P&L account or IND account, both are same. If they give receipts and payments account, you have to go by cash basis. Here they are talking mainly about the IND account or P&L account. So you need to understand. I'll not get into the detail now. So how much is the receipt, how much is the income, expenditure, etc. And then all the expenses they would have given idea. So whether it is allowed or disallowed, they will be talking. So you need to discuss with the same, with the reasoning. That is most important. So we need to be the master of whatever we are learning. May it be depreciation, may it be anything else. You need to express at the end. Okay. So whether it is allowed, why? If it is a disallowed, why? All of you are able to understand?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So So now there is a 14 mark question with little extra points will be there. Look at this, the way they are answering with a detailed one. So my suggestion is not this presentation. Serial number, particulars, note number the accounts then this column is fine. So instead of writing all these clumps here, you write okay, allowed, disallowed, 1, note 2. You can keep giving. So 1 page you can leave for the main answer and you can give the note. That is more better presentation. Illa sir, time saving andre. If suppose if you had similar problem like costing, no. So if you don't want, you can go like this. Both are absolutely permissible. Both are permissible. Artha aita? Fine. So with this, let me move on to the most beautiful head of income, extremely important head of income, and many questions. Okay. So out of 60 marks, income tax I'm talking about. You know, it's income tax. Hanish sir has spoken GST, and then we'll plan how to read at I'm audible correctly?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Now, when you talk about the Hanish sir bega adaka irli ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿರಬಹುದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ profits and gains of business or profession. 2 within bracket 13 defines what is business. Business means TCM, trade, commerce or manufacture. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು nail polish ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡೋ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬುಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಪೆನ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆ 12 pages ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಾಳೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತೇ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವನೆ, ನಾಳೆ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಹಾಕವನು ರೆಡ್, ನಾನು ವೈಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಯ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಷಿಕಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಂಚೆ. ಓಕೆ ರೈಟ್, ಮಂಡೇ ವೈಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ ಓಕೆನಾ? Because we should practice and then preach, alva. I follow it. Okay, they especially Lasya and Rishika, I think terrifically they are following it. Very nice, so nice of me. Nearly others also were following. I don't know. Deepa, that. So 213 talks about business. TCM, short form. A material is alva. Print at least now. Now, have you taken the printout of the new material? What has been shared? Good, Deepa, very good. Print print, don't have a laziness. Take the print, all the materials, everything has been circulated. When I said yesterday, nobody is refuted. Auditing Asha madam innu kottilla. Kottidhiva Asha. Then ella kottirbodu nanu nodilvalla anta adakke, because you trust Shetty sir more than yourself. I like it. Okay, so material alli ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಅವನು ಉಗುರು ತಿಂತಾನೆ, ಪೆನ್ ತಿಂತಾನೆ, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮನೇಲಿ ಊಟ ಹಾಕಲ್ವೇನೋ? ಸೊ ಅವಿಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, next ಏನು what cannibal ಅಲ್ಲ, what are you called? I don't know. ಏನು ಚಿಕ್ಕಿದ ತಿಂತಾನೆ ಅವನು. ಏನ್ ತಿಂತ ಇದೆಯೋ? ಪೆನ್ ತಿಂತ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಅವನು ಇದು ಏನೋ ಪೆನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಈಟ್ ಪೆನ್ ಒಂದು. ಅದೊಂದು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಪೆನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈಟಿಯರ್ ದನ್ ದಿ ಸೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? ಪೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗರ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸೋರ್ಡ್. ಇರ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಥರಿನ್ ಆಯ್ತೇನೆ? Circus? Okay, right. So TCM, trade, commerce or manufacture, Aishwarya, or any adventure or concern in the nature of trade commerce, where you do the business, okay, on a regular basis with the intention to earn a profit, it's called business. Profession 236 includes vocation. Application of skill, knowledge, expertise, divya in a particular field is called vocation. VOCAD. Provisions of the business income are absolutely same, okay, whether it is business or profession, more or less same. 1 or 2 places like if tax rate when I come, the limits may differ. Otherwise, if I don't mention business include profession. Now there are 2 categories of questions being asked. The main question, either they can give you P&L account / IND account. Professionals, they may prepare IND account. Others, they will use prepare what? P&L account. Or they can give receipts and payments account. If they give you P&L account or IND account, you have to go by accrual method of accounting, unless they specifically mention sometime IND account ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು cash basis ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ you have to go by cash basis. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ somewhere you have to go by accrual method. Whereas when it comes to the receipts and payments account Ananya, option ಇಲ್ಲ, so you have to go by cash basis. So in both the cases, business income has to be computed ಅಥವಾ professional income. How? There are 2 ways. Just look at me. P&L account, revenue 100, expenses 60, girlfriend's ice cream expenses 30, net profit 10. Revenue 100, expense 60, girlfriend's ice cream expenses to 30 to net profit 10. Girlfriend expenditure is a personal expenditure, is not allowed. There are 2 ways of computing. Under cash system, we normally go by receipts minus payment. 18A para number of ES3. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ರಿಸೀಟ್ಸ್ ಪೇಡ್, ರಿಸೀಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ರಿಸೀಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಅನನ್ಯ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. So 100 minus 60, 40 is the business profit. Narsimha. Whereas t-shirt ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. Same I think Aishwarya ಇರಬೇಕು. Yeah. So second one is, ಇಲ್ಲ sir, I want to go by indirect method. Net profit is 10. Add back girlfriend's ice cream expenses 30, 40. At the end of the day, you should get both. Now to understand, Arshita, whether it is a business expenditure or not, allowed or not, we need to get into section 28 talks about charging. Business income includes any business managing agency, termination, human resource policy received by the employer. So all those things, glance it. 29 says compute the income by applying 30 to 43D. There are some allowance sections, Srishti. There are some disallowance. Both are equally important. क्या खाने वाले बोलो, क्या खाने वाले है, क्या नहीं खाने वाले बोलो श्रीवत्सा, ना कहीं नहीं खाने वाला है. Why is it relevant? I told you earlier also. Beautiful slow dialogue of the garam masala by Paresh Rawal. So assuming Shreya and Soumya comes to my house, and obviously if they're coming for utana, dinner, lunch, whatever, so I should know what they eat. So she says, Shreya says, any vegetarian food anta. Soumya says any vegetarian food. Nanu brinjal iddu gravy, brinjal iddu burji, brinjal iddu rasamu, brinjal iddu sambar, ella martide. Then after they came there vegetarian, then realized that it is they don't eat. Atava yesterday last class I told, no, one of the new batch student, tomato they don't eat ante. Tomato is prohibited anta. So assuming I have tomato burji, tomato rasam, tomato sambar, tomato sapna, what else, tomato anything, and they don't eat. So you should know what they eat and what they don't eat also. Srivarsha ಏನೇ ಅಲ್ವೇನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಯೋಗ ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರ ಯಾರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಊಟ ಕರೆದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಊಟ ಏನ್ ಸರ್, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ವೆಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಸರಿ ಸಖತ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟವ್ರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರ ಅಂತ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಚಿಕನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾನ್ ವೆಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ವೆಜ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಏನು ಗೌಡ್ರೆ? ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ನಾನ್ ವೆಜ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಐನೋ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ವೆಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಶ್ರೀದೇವಿ ಅವರೇ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಕುಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ business income, not allowed is also equally important like allowed. What is allowed? You can generally say purchase allowed, salary allowed. But what is not allowed? Purchases 12,000 paid by cash, not allowed. So purchases from a relative, unreasonable payment. So we need to discuss that. So there are two categories of major items you have to learn, write down. Business income is extremely important. Not only this first 14 marks, but again some analytical theory ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಓದಲೆಲ್ಲ. Almost you can think in that 88 mark question paper ಅಲ್ಲಿ I'm talking descriptive. Okay, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು around 25 to 30 mark business income ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Then MCQ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 30 marks, which I cannot tell because I have not seen what they give. ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಏನು ಬಿಸಿಲು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ? ನೋಡ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಆಗದಿಂದ
ಸರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಣ್ಗೆ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ.
ಲೈಟ್ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾ ಲೈಟ್? ಅದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ನಿನಗೆ ಲೈನ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಿನಗೆ? ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೊಂದು ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಪಾಪ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಓದ್ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಗಲ್ಫ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಎಂಜಾಯ್, ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್. ಸೊ ಅನನ್ಯ ಎಂತದಾ? ಎಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬರೀ main heading PGBP, chapter number 4D. Everybody must remember Srinivas, Rajwal, Rajwala, Ranjani, Suparna, Shravani, Sandeep, Sakshi, Yashwant, Rakshit, Suresh, Hemlata, Hamlet, Suma Hegde, Pratima ಅವರಿಗೆ, Vidisha, Narsimha, Manoj Kumar, let it be. So PGBP chapter 4D, Roman number 4. Chapter numbers are always Roman number 4-D, section 28 to 44 dB. Number 1, provisions almost same for business and profession. Short and sweet. Provisions ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಲಸ್ಯ ಬರೆಯಲ್ವಾ? Provisions ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತೀಯ? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಬರೇ? Provisions almost same for business and profession. ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
Internet.
ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ನೋ? ಹಾ, 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೊದಲು ರಿಷಿಕರ ಮುಗಿತಾ ಇದ್ಲು, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅಂತ. ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಬರೀ provisions are same for business and profession. Use a bracket except 44AA, 44AB ... ಮಾತ್ರ 44AA ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. 44AA capital letter, 44AB ಅಮಿತಾಬ್ ಬಚ್ಚನ್. Next, number 2. As per 145 within the bracket 1, ಹೇಳಿ 145 within the bracket 1, comma, each source head ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನ, each source under 28 or 56. 28 ಏನು ಸಾಯಿ ವಿನಯ್?
Charging section of
Very good. And 56 is other source. 28 or ಚುಮ್ಮಾ ಹೆಗಡೆ 56. Follow either cash or accrual. Either what, Navya? Cash or accrual, comma, consistently. Merlin, Sakshi, Ajwala, Kavya, Chaitra.
Yes, sir.
Consistently or to follow. Consistently. Next. Full stop. Next, point number 1, 2. Point number 3. Computation of incomes. Small P&L account haki. P&L account. Short. By revenue 100 lakh. By dividend 20 lakh. To business expense ಅಂತ ಬರೀರಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಬಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀರಿ, ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. To business expenses 60 lakh ಅದನ್ನ ಬರೀ. To girlfriend's ice cream expense, girlfriend ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರೀ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅದನ್ನ. ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್, ಯೂಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್, ಮೀರಾ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್, ಅದು ಐಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ 30 lakh. To profit, I think it is 30 lakh. 30, 120,
Yes.
very deep. Next line, adjustment 1. Depreciation under section 34. Where the 34?
32.
ಕೂಡಲೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 32 ಹತ್ರ ತೆಗಿತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ವಾ, ಫುಲ್ ಸೆಟ್ 2 ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ, ಅದು ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಬರೆದಿದೆ 34 ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಅನನ್ಯ ಬರೆದಂಗಿದೆ ಮದುಮಗಳು, ಬರೆದಿದೆ 34 ಅಂತ. ಬರೆದ್ಯಾ? ಬೇಡ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊ ಜೋರ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಮೀರನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೊಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವಳಿಗೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಳ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಂಗೆ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊ, ಜೋರ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊ. ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಗೆಟ್. ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ under section 32, 8 lakh. Number 2, ದಿವ್ಯಾ and ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೀರೋ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರೋ? Commission income omitted. 10 lakh. 10. 2 RMRs. Left side. ಅಮ್ಮನ ಅಕ್ಕನ ಯಾರು? ಅನನ್ಯ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಮ್ಮನ ಅಕ್ಕನ ಯಾರು? ಯಾರು ದೇವ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಿಮ್ಮತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕತೆ ಇದೆ ಉಳ್ದ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು? 2 RMRs. Accrual method. Actually, both ultimately are collected same. Accrual method. ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಅದು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಡ. ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 3, ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ 4 lakh. accrual method, which is the bracket indirect method. Normally we go by indirect method. Income tax indirect direct approach illa aita name illa. Okay. Start. Short and sweet. Net profit 60 ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಚನ್ನಮನ್ ಕೆರೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ಯಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳು ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಮ್ಮ 30 lakh. Add number 1 expense disallowed but debited to P&L. Correct ಬರೀ format expense disallowed disallow ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದು ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. disallowed but debited to P&L dash rate GF ಏನು GF ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೂಬೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಸೇಮ್ ನೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೆ ಬರೋದು ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಗೂಬೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಯಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ ಸಪ್ನಾ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಗರಿಂಡು ಯಾ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ or outer column wherever it is. Outer column 30 lakh statue. So net profit as per P&L you have first item expenses disallowed full ಓದಬೇಕು expenses disallowed but debited to P&L. You know debited to P&L. 2 lines exact opposite ಹೇಳಿ less leave 2-3 lines less exact opposite ಹೇಳಿ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿ expenses opposite expenses allowed but not
debited to P&L.
Any LBM can answer? Yeah, very good. You answered. Yeah. Expenses allowed. Chuma, you know. Where is Karadi? Expenses allowed. But what? Not debited to P&L. Under that 2 items. Depreciation. Under section Ananya 36. 32 na?
32.
Isto. 8 lakh. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿ ಎಕ್ರೂವಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಸೀಟ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ರೂವಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು
4 lakh.
ಅದು ಇಫ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ 1 ಕಾಲಮ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಬರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಬರೀರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಡ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಚಿತ್ರಾನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಲೆಸ್ ಬರೆದು ವಿಚ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಅವಿಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. ಅನಿಶ್ ಸರ್ ಮಲಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರು. ಅನಿಶ್ ಸರ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ಫುಲ್ ಜೋಶಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಿಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಮಲಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬೇಗ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಸರ್ ಮಲಗಿಸೋ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಏನಿಂದ ಯಾ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಡಿಸಲ್ಲೌಡ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ allowed but not debited to P&L. Any confusion? So this is what we are going to discuss now in detail. Allowed ಯಾವುದು disallowed ಯಾವುದು ಅದು there's the next discussion. So in a ulta come to add number 2. Exact opposite of expense, you know, income. Business incomes not created to P&L. Mega business income not created to P&L. Dash rate commission is there
10 lakh.
10 lakh. 10 lakh. Exact opposite, you know. Non-business income created to P&L. Tantri avare. Oh, Tantri avare. Non-business income. Asada kulle book hakade hakodu alle bidkolo antutte quarterly. Non-business income. Paragilla. Work kutkolli comfortable ಆಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ. So non-business incomes credited to P&L. ಯಾವುದು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ dividend. Dividend is not a business income. How much ma?
20 lakh.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವಿಜಿತ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಬರದ್ರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಡ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ.
38 lakh.
38 lakh. Very good. There is a taxable business income. सबको समझ में आ गया? Completely right side. Cash system normally followed by professionals. Professionals followed by professionals. One by one. Professional receipts. Dash rate 100 plus ಎಷ್ಟಮ್ಮದು ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಒಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 8 100 plus 10 110 plus number 1 professional expenses actually paid Rashmi expenses actually paid. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಮ್ಮೋದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಷಿತಾ. ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆನ್ ಆಫ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೆಮ್ಬೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಲವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಫ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೆಮ್ಮು. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಪೇಯ್ಡ್. ಏನೋ ವಿಷಯ ಮೂರು ಬರ್ತದೇನೋ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಪೇಯ್ಡ್. ಬರ್ರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟದು? 60 lakh. 60 lakh. Next, number 2, depreciation under section 32. Marlene, how much? Marlene, Asha, long time, no response.
8 lakh.
Within the bracket, 8 lakh. First, difference is to. ಬಟ್ಟಿ ಅವಳು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾಳೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎದ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು ಅಲ್ವೇನೆ. ನಿಮ್ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು. ನಿಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳವ್ರೆ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಬಂದ್ಕೂಳೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಓಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೈ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್? ಅದು ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು?
42 lakh.
42 lakh ಇದೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಬಲ್ PGBP. ಆ 38 ಮತ್ತೆ 42 ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ನಿಧಿಶ, ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ 4 lakh ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಅಲೌಡ್. Difference should be 4 lakh salary outstanding, which is not allowed under cash system. So format artha aita ilrigo, business income matte professional income. Everybody understood and recalled? Now the beauty is about what is allowed, what is disallowed. Bari one more beautiful chart. You type ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ರಶ್ಮಿ, ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈಗಲೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಬರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, expenses bar allowances. Expenses bar allowances. 2 big arrow marks. Left side, greening color allowed. Greening color allowed. Greening color allowed. 1 by 1 ಬರ್ಕೊಡೋಗಿ. Section 30 R cube TI of building. ಇಷ್ಟು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. 32 ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅದೇ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಬಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ರೆ ಖುಷಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? R cube 30 R cube TI of building. Rent, rate, repairs, taxes and insurance of building ಮಾತ್ರ. within the bracket only current repairs. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ವೈರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡೋದಾ? ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 31 RI repairs and insurance of other 3 tangible assets. Other 3, correct, you're right, Suma. You're more right than me. Machinery, plant and furniture. You're right, very good. Other 3 tangible assets. Next, section 32, make important mark, depreciation. Important one ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನಾವು ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 35, scientific research. At the age of 25 to 28 you get married. At the age of 35 you do research, why did I get married ಅಂತ. Then ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಲೈಫ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ ಹಾಡಾಡೋಣ. ಬರೀ ಏನದು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 35 scientific research expenditure under that 2 RMRs 100% allowed. 100% allowed for current year revenue expense. Next, current year capital expenditure, capex, capital expenditure within the bracket except on land. I hope ನಾನು ಈಗ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ರಿಕಾಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, earlier 3 years. Anybody?
Raw material and salary.
Very good, Suresh. Why is Harishika? You know the answer, but why you hold back? You tell the answer immediately. Very good, Suresh. So earlier 3 years, salary excluding perquisite. Underline. Exception ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Salary excluding perquisite plus raw material and any capital expenditure. Capex everything except land. Any capital expenditure dash allowed in the first year of commencement. 1 second. Allowed in the year of commencement. So last 3 years expenditure fully allowed in the current year. Please understand it. 1/3 Allah. Like yesterday, what we discussed, 1/5 PCP adalla. Whatever you incur in the earlier 3 years, sir, fully allowed in the current year. 3 years matra. 22 only you start the business. 21, 20, 19. Adikkinta modlu before that whatever expenditure incurred you should not consider. So fully allowed. Earlier 3 expenditure fully allowed in the year of what? Sridevi, commencement of business. Here ನೀವು revision class ಬರ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಮತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ again 5:30 6 o'clock ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಅಥವಾ ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ ಸರ್ ಫುಲ್ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂತ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾಳೆ 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎದ್ದೇಳದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ನಾಳೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವೇನ್ವಾ ಸಂಡೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಸೆಷನ್ ಡು ಯು ರೀಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ next so capital expenditure of earlier 3 years fully allowed in the current year of commencement of business. As an example bari salary from 2018 to 2022 salary adu scientific research kelagare baritar ನೀವು salary 2018 to 2022 10 lakh per annum. Perquisite 5 lakh per annum. Same. Plant PLANT 40 lakh per annum. Next. Business started in 22, in the 21, 22, 22 whatever 22. Deduction is equal to just 1 by 1 salary. One wait. Oh. Salary, perquisite. Then I said what? Plant. Just add one before plant. One more, right? Rent andre lab with rent. 4 lakh per annum. Today, regular bit class in the rent is to say 4 lakh per annum. So deduction for 22. Deduction for 22, assuming it started in 22, year of commencement, 2 RMRs. Current year, everything you add, everything. 10 lakh plus
5 lakh plus 40 plus 4.
10 lakh plus 5 lakh plus 40 lakh plus 4 lakh. When to allow agate? ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತದ 59 lakh 59 lakh. ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ earlier 3 years that is of 21, 20, 19. 21 ಅದೇ 2021 18 19 ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ 21, 20, 19 1 by 1 salary 10 lakh into 3 30. What is the next one? Raw material perquisite ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ that is not allowed. Perquisite allowed
Not allowed.
Salary allowed. First year salary ತಾನೇ ಹೇಳಿದನು.
Yes, sir.
Perquisite. Then rent is not allowed. Plant allowed 40 lakh. 40 lakh into 3 120. So 150 lakh. Statue. Sir, current year ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ರಿ. All expense allowed except land. Land ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ allowed. Raw material, salary, perquisite, because everything is allowed. Be careful. Regular class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. Current year expenditure fully allowed. ಕೇಳ್ಕೋದ salary, ಎಲ್ಲ everything related to scientific research ಆಯ್ತಾ Scientific research, money clean model ido. Scientific research related all expenses are allowed. Right side, current last year, salary excluding per raw material. Capital expenditure except land. Or idea. So salary 10 lakh into 3. Plant 40 lakh into 3, 150 lakh. So correct left to the right. Total 209 lakh allowed in 2022. Everybody understood the point here. Correct? So salary matte right side salary raw material matra plus capital expenditure. Very good. Suparna. Shall we continue? Yeah.
Yes.
Further. 100% of the donation. 100% of the donation given to approved institutions. Scientific institution is that approved institution. So what is sorry?
100% donation given.
Donation to approved institution, IIT, National Laboratory. Allowed. 100% allowed. Donation quota allowed. Next. Top of the next page top of the next page. Only for comparison. As and when you come across, we'll write. Top of the next page red ink only for companies. First small a, section 35, within the bracket 2AB. Chat box 35 2AB. ABCL Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited. 35 2AB. There is in-house R&D. Very good. So yeah, in-house R&D. Except on land and building. Only for companies. Yeah. Only for companies. In-house R&D except revenue capital except land and building allowed. For biotechnology or manufacture other than
11th schedule.
Excellent. 800. Other than 11th schedule. You'll get 100% reduction. Okay. Small b. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಭಯ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತೆ ಸೊ ಬರೀ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬಿ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 19 ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನೆನಪಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 9 ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ 36 19 ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ 9 ಅಂತ 9 ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 19 ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಅಲ್ವೇನೆ ರಿಚಿಕಾ ಈ ತರ ಟೀಚರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲ 5 ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡು ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 19 family planning 2 RMRs. Revenue 100%. Capital 1/5. Gota 1/5 over 5 years. 1/5 over 5 years. Okay. Leave 2-3 lines, but not konde. Okay. Now come back to the main answer. Ali fresh page bardidu ada full page one arda page at least biಟ್ಬಿಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ as and when you come across some more provision you can keep writing only for companies in syllabus limited irodu but illi next illidiyappa iga
main answer
next
Section 35.
Next 35 AD very important 35 AD no brackets nothing if I don't mention bracket 35 capital A D. Capital expenditure very important. Capital expenditure within the bracket except LGF. So I will LG fridge ಅಂದ್ರೆ cold storage first business ಅದೇ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ LG fridge except LGF land goodwill and financial instrument ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. So except LGF close the bracket. Allowed for 14 specified businesses. 14 specified businesses. Which square? FB S square. FB square S. ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? ಆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕದು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಿಚ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು? W ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, H ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, I ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, C ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, H ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, FB ಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ S ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ಫೀಡ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಅದಿದ್ರೆ ಅಬ್ಬಾ ನಮ್ದು ಜೀವನ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬರೀ ಅದು ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ. ನೋಡ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂತ. ಹಿಮಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ except LGF 100% allowed. Okay, and such business should not be sold within how many years? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದಂಗಿದೆಯಾ?
8 years.
Such such business ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು. Such capital asset ಅಥವಾ machinery should not be used for any other purpose. Should not be used for any other purpose. Within ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Next
8 years.
8 years. Within next 8 years. Within the packet, it can be transfer ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, it can be transferred. Should not be used for anything else. 35 ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ 35 DDA 35 D ಮತ್ತೆ DD ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. 35 DDA VRS compensation 1/5 allowed. VRS compensation 1/5 allowed. Now next page ಅಲ್ಲಿ leave half page underline. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಬರೋದಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಕಂಪನಿ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಪೇಜ್ ಬಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಕೆಪ್ರ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಲೀವ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಲರ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಗಿ. ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ 2 big arrow marks left side. PCP interest 1/5 over 5 years. Next VRS compensation ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು 1/5 ಡಿಟೋ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಯಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ earlier 3 years revenue and capex ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. earlier 3 years revenue and capex fully allowed. capex ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Capital expense.
fully allowed in the year of commencement. ಸರ್ ಇದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದು 1/5 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 years. Right? Last 3 years fully this year allowed. Most beneficial piece of law. Sapna, समझ में आ रहा है? Whatever expenditure incurred earlier 3 years is fully allowed in the current year. Next, anything else we learned like that? Earlier years, after ಬಂದಾಗ ನೋಡೋಣ. Okay, now come to the main answer. 35 ಆಯ್ತು, 35 AD. Next, section 36. Section 36. Other specific deductions. Say insurance premium, bonus commission, contribution to approved employee funds, animals, that is 1/6. Animals in the year of death or permanently useless. NPDA in the year of death or permanently permanently useless, which is a bracket, cost minus carcasses, CARCASSES. So fully allowed. If you are not understanding anything, you can make a note and ask. Fully allowed. Then syllabus bonus comes in. Okay, next, bad debts. Bad debts subject to conditions. Subject to conditions of 36(2). Sorry. So all these deductions you wrote now from 30 to 36, left side of the flower bracket, specific deductions. They are called specific deductions, whatever we wrote now. So next line, the different ink, whatever you wrote till now, Shreya Srikanth, 30 to 36, pentino mundo, flower bracket active, specific deduction. Next, the one line, left side. You are still in the left side only. Capital B. Next page you go to the general deductions. Any other expense? First, any other expense? Which is I can say purchases, salary, staff welfare. Say purchases, salary, staff welfare. Close the bracket. Fully allowed. Fully allowed. When 5 conditions are satisfied. Pancha Pandavas. Five conditions are satisfied. Which are they? One by one. Important. Work. Alone kelsa badi. 2 RMRs actually. Duty. Duty. Left side, red ink color, not. There are 3 knots. Not, one by one. Small a. Not covered in 30 to 36. If it is already covered, why will I write here? Small b. Personal expenditure. Not a personal expenditure. Small c. Not a capex. Right side, greening color. So left 3 conditions are not. Right side, greening color. Yavado? Incurred during the previous year. One second. Are you simply wasting your time in just writing, or you are recalling the provisions?
Recording.
You lip note so very
Incurred.
Yeah, incurred only and exclusively
Business purpose.
exclusively only for such business. These are all deduction provisions. Still allow. But deduction there is a disallowance, restriction. Completely right side. If there is no space there, double hashtag and arc with the next page and 2 RMR but it's better if you write together because they're all connected provisions. Right side, disallowances bar restrictions. First one. Explanation to 37.1. Explanation to 37.1. Say okay, in their house they are moving. Relax. Yeah. The explanation to 37.1.
Penalty prohibited.
Excellent. Fines and penalties. I'm still surprised. Fines and penalties, against the law. Against the law, sir, disallowed. Compensatory allowed. Fines and penalty against the law, which is the bracket greening ಅಲ್ಲಿ compensatory penalties
Allow.
Next. ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು explanation. CSR expense 135 one of the Companies Act ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. That is also disallowed. Are you able to recall, Baba? ಏನ್ ದಿವ್ಯಾ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಊಟಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಜಮಾನರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಷನ್ 1 ಆಯ್ತು 2 ಆಯ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 38 ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ 1 lakh rent 30% ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಹೌಸ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ ರೀಸನಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ 1 lakh ರೆಂಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು
30% residential.
30% ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ 30,000 ಡಿಸಲೋ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 40 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಎ ನಾನ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ರಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ TDS ತಪ್ಪದು. ನಾನ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಎಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ 2 ಸಲ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ಗಲ್ತಿ ಕರ್ನ ಅಚ್ಚ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ TDS ನಾನ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಬಾರ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ $100% is next resident 30% is allowed. 40A1 is the first provision. This is 40A1A. Those who want to know 40 which is the bracket small a which is the bracket 1 is the first one. Next which is the bracket 40 which is the bracket small a which is the bracket 1A. Mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ better. So semicolon both above TD temporary differences. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಡಬಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸ್ಲಾಶ್ to non-resident in India. Very good, Rishika. 100% PD. 100% allowed. 40 which is the bracket small a which is the bracket I. Suma. 100% PD. PD alla permanently disallowed. Alla pakka bare due date 17B. Due date Chapter 17 XV11-B Roman number like XV11-B. Chapter 17 ಬೇರೆ 7th of next month normally. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So salary anna if you don't pay within the due date of the relevant the TDS law permanently disallowed. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Everything else temporary disallowed. If disallowed this year, next year allowed when you do the TDS. Next Bada Bhaiya 40 capital A dash red overrides 40 in the bracket small a. What else to pay? So 40 capital A overrides what? 40 small a. Below that section ನೆನಪಿರಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 40A2 ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಏನೇನ ಬರೀಬೇಡಿ. 40 capital A which is the bracket 2 ಇದು 40A is the bracket 2 unreasonable payment to relatives. Disallowed ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನಾವು ಸೌಮ್ಯ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 40A3 ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. 40A3
more than 10,000.
Now general wording is a cash payment actually. Right, payment otherwise than by Payment, Sakshi, otherwise than by account pay.
Account pay check.
ECS.
ED bar ECS. Payment otherwise than by account pay check. DD
ECS.
ECS. Yeah. Account pay check DD bar ECS. Say in cash. Say cash. In a day, to a person in aggregate. 3 crucial words. In a day, to a person in aggregate. In a day, to a person in aggregate. Dash. Current year, 100% of such expense. Such expenditure is disallowed. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅದು 48.3 ದೀಪ 48.3 ಅಲ್ಲ 48.3 ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 48.3a ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರಿ when paid in subsequent year ದೀಪ such payment is deemed income. Make a circle. Such payment is deemed income. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ April 21 ಗುಡ್ ಸುಪರ್ಣ. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ April 21 10 lakh. Small a. Paid in December 21 12,000. Paid in December 21 12,000. Dash right 10 lakh disallowed. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸೇಮ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? April 21 ಮತ್ತೆ December 21 10 lakh disallowed. ಆ ಬಿಲ್ that particular bill is disallowed. Swapna समझ में आ रहा है? Next small b. No payment in 21-22. No payment in 21-22. Semicolon. But paid in June 22 14,000. June 22 14,000. Deemed income 14,000. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ದೇವರಿಗೆ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್. ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಸೂಪರ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. Responding spontaneously. Super. So next point 43b. 43 capital B. B for Badava. Cobol Pascal Labad. 43b dash right. 8 items, 8 expenses. B looks like, look at me. 43b. B looks like 8. 8 ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So stupid connections ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ನಾನು. B looks like what? 8 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದು ನೆನಪಿರಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಕಿವಳಿಗೆ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. 43b 8 items. Allowed IFF. Allowed IFF. Paid within 139(1) due date. due date. Within the bracket. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಹಾಕಿದಂಗಿದೆ 40 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಎ 40 ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಸೇಮ್ 40 ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಎ ಗೋ 43 ಬಿ ಗೋ ಡ್ಯೂ ಡೇಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ 48 ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ 17 ಬಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಡೇಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೆ? ಯಾ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್. 8 ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು? 3 RMRs. 3 employee related. PF, bonus, EL. Correct? any contribution to RPF, superannuation fund, etc. Bonus and year. There are 3 items. Second arrow mark. Interest. Interest to whom? Scheduled bank, PFI, NBFC. Scheduled bank. Scheduled bank. So Canara Bank is covered. Hanumannagar Ladies Cooperative Bank may not be covered. It may not be scheduled bank. Scheduled bank and all national banks. Okay. So scheduled bank, PFI, public financial institution,
NBFC.
NBFC.
that's okay. Last term, government. All indirect taxes and interest on indirect tax. Indirect tax ali, Prajwal.
GST.
GST, custom duty. Yeah. So all indirect taxes, including interest on indirect tax. The first one, Indian Railway assets. You are using Indian Railway assets. Indian Railway nim tata nam tata da. Nam tata hogbitavre. Avadella anta confirm agide. So continue. Indian Railway is the government. Government. These 8 items, again allowed only if it paid within 139 due date. Connect all the 3. One is honest, I'm not going slow, but at the same time, I'm connecting what you learned, plethora of provisions. So almost 1 month the class and 1 hour, 2 hours. This is the called revision. Okay, this is the beauty of revisions. Okay, so many provisions. Recall. So connect all the 3. TD, temporary difference again. Paid later, they allowed in the next year of payment. Alva, within the bracket, allowed in the year of, within the bracket, when paid later, when paid beyond 139.1, beyond 139.1, allowed in the year of payment. Next previous year estimate what year it falls, so Inonsala heltini. Prajwal, 21-22 previous year iddo 31st July kodbekagittu, you didn't pay. 31st July 22 kottilla. 10th April 23 kotre, it is zero. 10th April 23 falls in 23-24 previous year. Close. Don't talk about the estimate year previous year of that year or the due date.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
this is how many times in the class I told you. This is very bad if you don't remember. Barivi. GST of PY 21-22. 1 second. GST of April 21. Remitted on small a. Remitted on 10th July 22. 10th July 22. Allowed for which previous year? Dash red. Allowed for?
Previous year
22-23.
Allowed for previous year 21-22 itself. Yeah, 22-23. Allowed for previous year 21-22 itself. April 21 though. 21-22 previous year. July 31st is the July 31st 22 is the last date. Adikkinta modlu kottidre allowed for 21-22 itself. Next, small b, paid on 10th April 23. Allowed, paid on 10th April 23. Illi matra, what you should see, when paid later, just consider previous year. Dash right, allowed for income tax, learn for previous year. Allowed for previous year?
22-23.
23-24. April 23 falls in 23-24 previous year. I said April 23, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So if paid within the due date, then you have to consider that previous year only. If paid later, what is the date? April 23 falls in previous year.
23.
Careless answer kodbedi. How many times you have done in the class? How many times? I really don't know. Are we wasting our time if this is the case? Huh? Yeah, 23-24. Next. 43B. These are the disallowances mainly. Okay, disallowance sections. Start. So completely below that. completely below that. ಏನೋ ಒಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ದೆ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಟ್ರಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಬಿಲೋ ಟ್ರಿಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ this provision cash payment in this provision applies to 2 RMRs revenue expenses section 35 35 AD ಅದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If you pay about 10,000 rupees disallowed ಅಷ್ಟೇ 35 AD etc. right side. Second proviso to 43(1). Second proviso to 43(1) dash. Such amount is excluded from actual cost of asset. So computer purchase for 50,000, 12,000 cash kotre, 38,000 consider market. Excluded from actual cost of asset. Example. Computer 50,000, cash paid 12,000. Depreciation only on
38,000.
38. Completely brother. On depreciation ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಗ. Depreciation 2 RMRs. Current year capital A SLM option to power units, power generating or generating cum distributing. Option to power generating or generating cum distributing units. Small b worksheet WDV based on block of assets. Block of asset. Say plant open in WDV 400 lakh. 25 question regular class WDV minimum. Open WDV 400 lakh. Add addition in within the bracket 10th December 21. Additions is the date important. Addition the date important. 200 lakh. Total 600 less 400 plus 200 600. 25 question sir. This format less sale value slash insurance money on complete destruction. Insurance money on complete destruction. Then recent income last head complete destruction. Say 100 lakh. Difference 500 lakh. Ali sale value but the complete within the bracket reading date of sale inconsequential. Date of sale not relevant. What date you sell is not relevant. Next WDV is WDV is 500. WDV as on 31st March 2022. Last year 21-22 is your previous year. 500. Adike 2 big RMRs. First one, left side, less than 180 days. This is the format I told you. Less than 182 Allah, reservation status 182, illi 180. Next to next page allo barkoli sumune barri next to next page allo top alli. Atha ನಿಮ್ಮ cash flow sumune. Reservation status 182 days. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬರೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪೇನ್ ಈ ಪೇನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. Writing the exam again is a big pain. ಈಗ ಬರೀ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ 182 ಡೇಸ್. ಅದು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ವರ್ಷ ನೀನು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ 365 ಡೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ divided by 2, 182.5, 0.5 leave it to 0.5 people, 182 days. Next, depreciation dash symbol less than 180 days equal to Allah, less than 180 days, half of normal rate, 180. Wherever there is a confusion, confusion all attractive code. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ದೇವರಿಗೆ?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Next ಏನಪ್ಪ? Come to the main answer. Depreciation only. So 2 are marks less than 180 days. 180 days. System ಅದು 200 lakh. 200 lakh. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು immediate ಆಗಿ?
Right side.
Go to the right side. Don't do the depreciation calculation. Right side. Therefore, greater than or equal to 180 days. Symbol. Those who are not attended the regular class, you may not understand. You need to have little idea. Greater than equal to 180 days. Understand it. The revision class. Underline. Balance. You ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು ನೋಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Balance ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. 500 minus 200, 300. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Underline. Come to the left side. D1. 200 lakh into 15% into half. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? They are used for less than December less than 180 days. ಅಲ್ವಾ? So October 4th 5th ಏನೋ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಡೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ. So less than 4th ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. So less than 180 days 200 lakh into 15% into half. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 15 lakh. 15 lakh. Hold on. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಗ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ D3 additional depreciation for new plant. ಹೊಸ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ 20% ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 200 lakh into 20% into half. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 20% ಬಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? 20 lakh. Right side, complete right side. D1, D2. Just 300 lakh into 15%, 45 lakh. All of you able to recall? Those who are not in the regular class will not understand, especially the non-caps may not understand because that's the way we do the chart. May not permit time. Arthagat at least opening WDV, addition, less sale value. This is called WDV. Follow this format. Anyone non-caps are listening, you can take it from our office. Better what we do. Right side, more than 180 days. Otherwise, D2, 300 lakh into 15% into 1. Estimate 45 lakh. Next, D4, additional, nil. Yakare, more than 180 days, new machinery illa ali. Correct? Now connect left with right. Total estimate. Therefore, depreciation under section 32.
80.
80 4. D1 plus D2 plus D3 plus D4. 80 lakh.
Yes, sir.
80 lakh. 80 lakh. Next line. Therefore, WDV carried forward. Your favorite number. 500 minus 80, 420. Endipa, but 420. 500 minus 80, 420. With the depreciation calculation. Next line. Continuation. Additional depreciation. In right additional depreciation only for new plant and machinery in the factory. New, absolutely new and correct? Absolutely new plant and machinery. Absolutely new plant and machinery in the factory. Absolutely new plant and machinery in the factory. 20%. Artha aita? Which is the bracket? 60 less than 180 days. Less than 180 days. 10% current year, 10% next year. Now we are That is D3 in the next year also same. Right, Majol? D1, D2, D3 is left side Ananya. That's less than 180 days. That's half years. Half next year go. D3 next year also same. Everybody understood?
Yes.
Everybody understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Completely right side. Right side. Unabsorbed allowances. Unabsorbed allowances. Istu one tigal madidana 1.5 cover model easy alla, but recalling 90% excellent. If you don't recall anything, super excellent. P&L account. Yes, Sridevare. Budevi phone modukene. P&L account by revenue 100 lakh. P&L account, chikkadu P&L account by revenue 100 lakh. 2 business expenses 120 lakh. 2 any depreciation. All 4 SLM, WDV, additional terminal, ella barutte. All the 4 terminal depreciation barutte. Any depreciation 30 lakh. 2 scientific research capex referred in 3514. Scientific research capex referred in Rashmi 35 within the bracket 1 within the bracket 4. 3514 gotta elrige. Chat box 3514 25 lakh. 2 family planning expenditure. Section yaudo?
3619.
Correct. Very good. That is 19. Amisha idara. RK. Idene. Voice kellenito. What is 19? Within the bracket, renting only for companies. Companies are tane. Deductions sigodo. Only for companies. Mega revenue full. Saying move mega. Revenue full. Capital 150. 40 lakh. 40 lakh. First total body debit side. See, well, what can I mega? Make model. Debit side total.
170.
215.
215. Trade side also 215. By get lost? 115.
150.
Ananya correct get lost. Yeah. By net loss 115. 115 is circled. Circled to 2 RMRs. So total loss of that entry go. Revenue is to expense is to. Yen sustain Navya. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಊಟವೂ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ನೀನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನವ್ಯ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಬದಲು ನವ್ಯ ಸುಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳೋಣ ಇದು ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸುಸ್ತು ನವ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಯಾ ಸೊ 115 ಬರುತ್ತೆ 115 ಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಹೊಡೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರೀ unabsorbed allowances 1 by 1 32 within the bracket English number 2 32 ಯಾವುದು
Depreciation.
Very good. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ರು P&L ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
30 lakh.
30 lakh. ಪುಣ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಚಾವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 35-4 ಅನನ್ಯಾಗಿ ಖುಷಿನೇ ಖುಷಿ ಬಚಾವ್ ಈ ಮನುಷ್ಯ 400 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೇ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ನಮ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪುನಃ ಹತ್ರನೇ 35-4 only for capex. 35 for scientific research only for capital expenditure. Referred in 3514. Artha idea 35 within the bracket English number 4. Yeah, only for capex. Esta mother
25 lakh.
25 lakh. Next, 3619, same section. Both revenue and capital. Mr.
40 lakh.
40 lakh.
40 lakh. Decent ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So 32 to any depreciation, 35.4 is only for 35.14 capital expenditure ke matra. Revenue expenditure is normal business loss, sir. Then Ashwini, travel planning, anything, capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, anything, total money. Yes, sir. 95. 95 lakh. Right side, balance 20 lakh. Includes revenue expenditure on scientific research. Idre scientific research revenue expenditure right side barutte. Focus made Navya, focus made. Includes revenue expenditure on what? Scientific research. Below that, below the right side, section 72. Carry forward for next 8 years. Business loss aduna business loss antivi. Adike business loss anta bari 72 business loss carry forward for next 8 years. Catherine correct ene? Some excel. Below the left side, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು? 95 ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ರಿ, very important. Carry forward for any number of years. 2-3 points ಬರ್ರಿ, very important, box ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. Carry forward for any number of years. Adjusted, next, adjusted against, set off against any income except salary. Set up alla, set off against any income in any year. Next, very important. Other section 80 read with 139 within the bracket 3. 80 Asya 80 R.W read with 139 within the bracket 3. Even if filed belated, such unabsorbed allowances and 71B and 71B, you know, household loss. 71B can be carried forward. Last sentence, Roda minus Sala. Yeah, Deepa.
Section 80 read with 139(3). Even if filed belated, such unabsorbed allowances and 71B can be carried forward.
71B andre bungalow, house property. 71B is for house property. Can be carried. Even if you file below return, it can be carried. Artha eldrigo. So these are the main computation provisions. Okay. Inno caps better open ಮಾಡಿ print out iddavaru. Any other point, if I missed it, I just want to read from there. So business definition 213, profession 236, 28 charging section work glance ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಕು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು. Definition actual cost 10,000 ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಈಗ. Plant definition make important mark. Plant ಬರೆಯೋ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕ. For depreciation purpose, who are amas tangible assets ಯಾವುದು? Building, machinery, furniture and plant. Building, machinery, furniture and plant. Right side, intangible assets being KPTCL FO. KPTCL FO. Know-how, patent, trademark, copyright, license, franchise, other assets. Reading kalli, not goodwill. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಂದ ಬರ್ದಿದೆ, ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗುಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್ಗೆ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೋ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್. ನೋ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೋ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ನೋ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಷನ್ ಬರೆದೇ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಬರೀ 43(3). Under that 2 RMRs includes books, vehicles, ships, surgical equipments and products. Short over books, vehicles, ships, surgical equipments and products. Right side excludes tree bush, livestock, tree bush, livestock, building, F&F. Okay. ಇದೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಯೆಟ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇನು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ scientific research ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಮಲ್ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಎನಿಮಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವೇ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಓದಿ SLM ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೇಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್, ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. WDV ನಲ್ಲಿ 3rd 1 to ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ ನಿಮ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬರೀ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ 5 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ. ಎಡಿಷನ್ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ scientific research ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ 100% scientific research. ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ 35 ABB. 35 ABA is about spectrum. 35 ABB is about license. Both deduction is equal to cost divided by life. How many years it is allowed? That's not correct. 35 AD, I told you which square, B square. 35 AD, 37 1. 40 A to 40 small a. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ? 40A covers ಇದು ರಶ್ಮಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. 40 small a covers interest etc. payable to non-resident in India or payable outside India. 40A 1A is to any resident, ಇಲ್ಲಿ to resident without any TDS. 30% notes ಕೊಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಉಳಿದ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. 40A ಆಯ್ತು. deemed profit, recovery of trading liability is a profit, balancing charge in the case of SLM. Then bad debts recovered to the extent allowed earlier. Highlight annual ಮಾಡಿ. Next 43 years gap ಮಾಡಿ. 43B ಆಯ್ತು. Method of accounting okay. 40B notes book ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ. Partnership form only for PFAS. PFAS partnership firm as such. Small a, interest on any amount, capital alla, any amount, loan, capital, whatever, that's right, as per deed or 12%, whichever is less. Next, small b, remuneration, unique. Remuneration winning only to working partners. Only to working partners. As per deed or 1 by 1 up to first 3 lakh. Up to first 3 lakh BP, book profit or loss. $1.5 lakh or 90% of book profit, whichever is higher. $1.5 lakh or 90% of book profit, whichever is higher. On balance, 60%. From our next line, whichever is less. So as per the deed or what? Deepa? Computation, whatever is said, whichever is less. Completely below that. Such interest bar remuneration allowed. Such interest bar remuneration allowed is business income to partners. Whatever allowed here will become income. Example, debited to P&L 18%. Allowed 12%. Therefore, business income to partner is to Ashwini?
6%.
Wrong answer. 12%. Allowed 12%, income also 12%. 12%. Next page, fresh page, special like. And income tax, interest is always simple. Income tax, compound interest concept is avishiti. Compound interest is always simple. Semicolon. Normally 1% per month. Always 1% no? Simple interest, no doubt. But interest is 1% per month, 12% per annum. 234A 1% per month, B, C, all normally 0.5% is 1.5% is a TDS. Vidisha, okay na? Nothing is known, you can remember this. Share of profit is exempt. Share of profit from PFA is exempt. Books of account go through money. Specified professionals have to maintain, others also have to maintain. One special provision for tax audit. Analytical question for tax audit. 44 AB. Three, 4 arrow marks. First one, business. I did that. I'm trying to condense it just. Business turnover greater than 100 lakh. 100 lakh in the just idre, you have to go for a tax audit. Second one, profession. Gross receipt greater than
50 lakhs. 50 lakhs.
Small c. 44 AD and 44 AE, important sections. 44 AD and 44 AE. Presumptive taxation claiming lower income. Presumptive taxation claiming lower income. Mechanical barita idina naviya. So, claiming lower income. Next, 44 ADA, 5 hours act. 44 adda. 44 ADA, 44 ADA, claiming lower income. than 50%. Claiming lower income than 50%. And deemed total income is greater than BL. ಏನಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಏನು ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರೇ ನಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಿನ್ನ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರೇ ನಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಹೇಳು ನಿನ್ನ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹೇಳೋ ಗಗನ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಅದು ಬಂದ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋ
ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದು
ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಮೀ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಮೀ ನೀವು CA ಮಾಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ತಗೊಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೂರಿಸ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ 99% ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರದಿ ಬಟ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ ನೋಡಿ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆನೆಸ್ಟಿ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೇಜ್ ಬರೆದಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪೇಜ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಮಾಡ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನಫ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಮುಗಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೇಜಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 25 ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು ಬೇರೆ ಹೇಳಿ
8, sir.
8 pages, around 6 to 8 pages, all of it written. Adu good pace anತೀರಾ. But do you think it is enough? Anyone has completed yesterday 80 marks costing? Simple. Alla straight agi andre see he is also right, I am also right. Speed ಬರಬೇಕು. ಬರೆದು ಈಗ ಬರೆದಾಗ 90% at least you can recall I am happy. 10% ನಾನು ದೇವರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ದೇವರಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಆಗೋ ಬೇಡ ದೇವರಾಗೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ನಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಟೈಮ್ ಶೆಲ್ವಿ ಬರೀ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು 44 ಅಡ್ಡ ಓಕೆ ರೈಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ 44 AD presumptive income claiming lower income which is above claiming lower income and deemed total income greater than BL. Heading kale tax credit for current year plus next 5 years. Ili matra tax credit for current year. So ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ each ವರ್ಷ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ if you default current year plus next 5 years you cannot come inside 8%. You have to offer that. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Come to the first arrow mark. 1 crore ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ರಿ. Please note for 44 AD tax audit when it is above anybody when it is greater than Divya
2 crores.
200 lakhs 2 crores you are right very good 200 lakhs ಏನು ರಾಂಗ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಉಗಿದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಉಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ greater than 200 lakhs next very important further for digital collection and payment that is only that is less than or equal to 5%, sorry, less than or equal to 5% receipt bar payment in cash. In cash, tax rate limit is 10 crores. 1000 lakh ಅಥವಾ 10 crores. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಿದಿಶಾ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದು. So whenever you have digital collection ಅಂದ್ರೆ less than 5% receipt, less than 5% payment in cash, okay. That means above 95% should be account pay check alla ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇಗ then tax rate limit is 1 crore ಅಲ್ಲ 10 crores. Understood? Complete even other presumptive taxation. Special one 44 AD. ನಿಮ್ಗೀಗ ಫುಲ್ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್, ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ. ಬಟ್ 1.5 hours ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಡಿಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ಯು ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಕವರ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡೇ. ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾ ಮೇ 31st ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ನೋಡಂಗಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಬುಕ್ ಮುಟ್ಟಕ್ಕಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಬರೆದ ಮಿಡ್ ನೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಿದೆಯಾ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನಬೋದು 44 AD ಫಾರ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ HF ಬಾರ್ ಫರ್ಮ್. ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ತುರ್ಗಿಸಿದೀನಿ ನಾಲೆಜ್. ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ HF ಬಾರ್ ಫರ್ಮ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ LLP. LLP ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ LLP ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. LLP for business SSC, very important. Minimum income 8%. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Minimum income 8%. Which is the bracket greening ಅಲ್ಲಿ important. 6% for digital collection. Digital collection ಏನೋ account pay, check, draft, TCS. 6% for digital collection on or before 139(1) due date. ಮೇಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್, ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಆನ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ 139(1) ಡ್ಯೂ ಡೇಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್, ಅದು ಮರ್ತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 8% ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ. ಸ್ವಪ್ನ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿದಿನ್ 139(1) ಥ್ರೂ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಚೆಕ್ etc. 6% your offer. Next example, Panipuri 180 lakh turnover. 120 lakh online before 31st July 22. 50 lakh cash. 10 lakh outstanding. Ishika, ಏನಕ್ಕ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗೋಯ್ತೇನೆ? 10 lakh outstanding. Presumptive income is equal to 120 lakh into 6% plus total 180 ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. 60 lakh into 8%. 60 lakh into 8% ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 44 ADA for resident individual bar firm. ರೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ HF ಬಾರ್ LLP. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. No HF bar LLP. Close the bracket. A film T ಹಾಕಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ HF ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರ. ಫಾದರ್ ಸಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಗನು ಸಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ, ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್. ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ presumptive income 50%. 50%. 50. 44A. 44A. Goods carriage vehicles. Goods carriage vehicles. Dash heavy goods. Just 1000 per ton per month or part of the month. 1000 per ton per month. The birth example, be careful. 1000 per ton per month or part of the month per vehicle. Per vehicle. Next, other vehicle, Avishati. Other vehicle. 7,500 per month or part of the month per vehicle. 7,500 per month or part of the month per vehicle. Below that, 44E, below that, 44 capital E, not to own more than 10 vehicles. 10 vehicles into just illa. Within the bracket, including hire purchase. Hire purchase also considered a very good avishati. Including hire purchase. Super. Yeah. For the example, by the way, 4 small vehicles and 2 14-ton vehicle. 14 at the beginning. Purchased, the example baratte, be careful. Purchased 3 small vehicles on 10th December 21. Any confusion? Regular notes will log 10th December 21. Comma, sold 1 heavy vehicle on 14th February 22. Yen madtira first, anybody? Line nodi. Draw a line. First line, small vehicle. First step ಎಷ್ಟು 4. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ 10th December ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ +3 ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ?
Yes.
+3. So ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರಿ. So 4 vehicles into 7,500 into 8 months. Be careful. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 8 months. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ should not be considered. April to November ಮಾತ್ರ. 4 vehicle into 7,500 into 8 months. Close the bracket. Plus 4 plus 3 ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 7 vehicle. ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 1 ದಿನ ಇದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತು. ಸಾಕು. ಪಾಠದ ಬಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ? 7 vehicle ಅಲ್ವಾ ನಿರೀಶಾ? 7 vehicles into ಸುಮಾ ಹೇಳೋ 7,500 into 4 months. December, January, February, March. Understood? Next, total ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿ. Heavy vehicles. ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಮೊದಲು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ? 2 vehicles. 2 vehicles into 1000 into 14. ಅದು 1000 per ton. 1000 into 14 into 11 months. ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದಿನ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫೋಕಸಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಮಂತ್ ಇಯರ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 2 vehicles into ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ 2 ತರ ಇದ್ದಿತ್ತು. ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ. 2 vehicles into ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yes.
2 vehicles into 1000 into 14 into 11 months plus 1 vehicle into 1000 into 14 into 1 month. 1 vehicle into 1000 into 14 ton 15 ton 15 into 15 ಮಾಡೋದು into 1 month. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is about the business income in nutshell. I think almost all the provisions, detailed provisions ಇದೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಕು. Capital gains ಬೇಡ, ತಲೆಗೆಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ which is not falling under any of the earlier 4 heads of income comes under income from other source. It should be income, should not be exempted. So what specifically covered here? Dividend is always other source. Casual income is always other source. Gift income which we have not discussed, we have introduction to Bharat next late Bharat. It always comes here. That is gift, cash gift above 50,000, LBB, stamp value minus Z above 50,000, then BZ pass, other specified asset, fair market value minus Z above 50,000 rupees, family pension minus 15,000 reduction. So all these are income from other sources. Okay, other sources. So for mutual fund, etc. Yeah. Actually, everybody is applicable to everyone. Okay. Mutual fund, etc. Dividend bandre, the maximum reduction interest 20%. 56 is the charging section, 57 is reduction. 57 family pension in a notes 37.1 57.3 provision. Ditto. Whatever is the condition 37.1 we saw, same 57.3 okay. And again 58 is TDS etc. disallowed. Deemed income is 41.1. This is a small head of income. Clubbing is when others' income is added to your income, that's called clubbing. So whenever you transfer something which is irrevocable, it will not be clubbed. Whereas the special provision is section 64. Transfer of asset to the spouse, son's wife without consideration, clubbed. Minors income last class noted. Conversion of HF property may not be relevant. Next, SIMI, you just glance money. If you have got SIMI plus H, all these are unexplained monies. Cash trade found, no explanation. CI, unexplained investment, unexplained money, investment, expenditure. Atava, you take money at a repay in Hundi, which is a vernacular language, then all these incomes are taxed at 115 at 60% flat plus surcharge of 25%. So almost 185% tax they put over there. So this is about the last theoretical discussion of the day. Theoretical discussion. Set off and carry forward. These three provisions I have already told you. Unabsorbed allowances can be adjusted against any income except salary. Carry forward for number. Focus. 35 EAD. There are 14 businesses. Any expenditure, whatever the capital expenditure related to that, okay? Allowance, capital expenditure, the money, Ashmi, capital expenditure related to such business, except LGF, can be set off against any other specified business matra, and it can be carried forward for any number of years. Next, so losses, inter source andre, between two sources of the same head. Any loss, salary, there cannot be loss. Let us go in the same order. House property loss can be adjusted against any other house property income, any other head, but maximum 2 lakh, 71.3. In the next year, carry forward for 8 years, 71B, adjust only against house property income. Business only, unabsorbed allowance I told you, specified business I told you, 73A. Speculation loss is legal but immoral. You can set off only against speculation profit, carry forward only for 4 years. Speculation but the racehorse, both are immoral. I think you can carry forward only for 4 years, adjust only against 4 years, or only against such income. Any other business loss can be adjusted against any income in the current year, but carry forward only for 8 years. Capital loss, small tumbler can be kept in the big tumbler. Big tumbler cannot be kept in the small tumbler. Short term can be adjusted against short term or long term. Long term cannot be adjusted against the short term. Race or other source loss barbodu, set off marbodu, carry forward provision illa. Important. Set off and carry forward of losses. Either 4 RMRs or 1 by 1. And then you have one small problem. Capital A, unabsorbed allowances, 1 by 1. Unabsorbed allowances. Ashmi, 32 to 35, 4, that is 19. 32 to 35 within the bracket 4, that is 19. Carry forward for any number of years. Set off against any income. Except salary. Cut omega. Within bracket plus house property loss. Next line. House property loss. Even if belated ITR, okay. Even if you file belated income tax return, you can carry forward. So unabsorbed allowances can be carried forward for any number of years, set off against any income in any year, except salary. 71(2)(a) section. Next, capital B. (35)AD specified business. Savinay.
Can be set off only against those specified incomes.
Very good. Set off only against such income. Excellent. Savani, Sai Venkatesh, Chaitra, Sakshi, Ranjani, Prajjala, Rakshit, Marlin, Kavya, Srivatsa Egde, Srivatsha, Ashwini Katra. So set off against what? Only such incomes, Narsima. Comma, greening, carry forward any number of years. Very cold storage against 2-star hotel. Okay. Agata. Cold storage profit idre, 2-star hotel loss idre, set up. Okay. Next. 100-bed hospital alle against Pani Puri, not okay. 100-bed hospital loss against Sapna. You're guessing me? Yeah, against what? Pani Puri, not okay. Not okay. Next, capital C. Legal but immoral. Legal but immoral. Example, bare avashyakate illa ansutte. Legal but barebodu yen tondre illa. Speculation and racehorse. Speculation and racehorse. Only against such incomes. Set off only against such income. Speculation against speculation. Keli yellow on the going guru example. Only against such income and carry forward least years. Sapne mein milti hai 4 years. Only 4 years. Next. All other losses. Next, D. Say house property, comma, normal business loss, comma, capital losses, dash red, carry forward for 8 years. Adra kedagene. In the current year, any loss against any income. Any loss against any income. Agata. But house property against other head, maximum 2 lakh. House property against other end, maximum 2 lakh. Next, STCL against STCG and LTCG. Whereas LTCG, see, LTCL only against LTCG. What is the LTCL only against LTCG. Next, in the subsequent year of carry forward, Gita Bantala, you mentioned Kata Antana. Henry? Yeah. It is a necessary evil anti. It is like a necessary devil evil. Optional necessary devil or evil. Yeah. So, in the next year of carry forward set off only against respective head. Only against respective head. Set off carry forward question bande barutte. Example, current year house property 5 lakh. House property loss, which is the bracket 5 lakh. Business loss, which is the bracket 10 lakh. IFOS. Oh, Anisha. Okay. IFOS 4 lakh. Salary income 3 lakh. Compulsory question on set off in carry forward. Compulsory. But Bandilande, you are the wrong question examination. So, Kelak answer. This exam can one sentence break if you don't mind. Before the example, see. IFOS, special pointer. IFOS, in the bracket, except racehorse. Dash only set off, no carry forward. Set up modbodu. IFOS loss anna. Set up modbodu carry forward madangilla. Ella helidini. At least ಒಬ್ಬರಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ recall ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಖುಷಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಹೊಸತು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನು? So now example ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡೆ answer. Salary income inner column 3 lakh. Less house property restricted to 2 lakh. ಯಾರಿಗದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 71 within the bracket 3 a close the bracket. 71 within the bracket 3a. 3 lakh, 2 lakh, outer column 1 lakh. Because house property loss can be just against salary. Business loss ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ನಾನು. But maximum is to 2 lakh. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಒಂದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 hours ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಬ್ಬರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತಿಲ್ವೇನ್ರು? Next, IFOS inner column. IFOS inner column. ಎಷ್ಟು? 5 lakh.
4 lakh.
4 lakh.
Less business loss. 4 lakh. Outer column nil. Total income 1 lakh. Aita? Next. Carry forward. Therefore, carry forward. 71B house property. See, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 70, 71 is set off. Carry forward 72 ಶುರು ಆಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮರ್ತೋಯ್ತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು 71B ನಂದೇಲಿ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ದೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ 70, 71 ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯ್ತು. 72 ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 71B ಅಂತ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ದ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ 71B, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಸ್ 72, ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ 73, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್ ಇಸ್ 74, ರೇಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ 74A. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೇಯಾ ಅಲ್ವೇನೆ? ಬರೀ ತಿನ್ನು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು? ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ 71B ಹೌಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದು?
5 lakh.
5 minus 2 3 lakh for next 8 years. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 8 years. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ 8 years. ಎಂತದ ಅವಿಷಯತಿ ಬಿಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ನೋಡಿ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಬಿಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ 10 lakh ಇತ್ತ? 10 minus 4 6 lakh for next 8 years 72. Next line, in the next year salary 20 lakh, salary 20 lakh, business income Deepa 5 lakh. ಏನು ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ business income 5 lakh. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಔಟರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದು 20 lakh. Number 2, business income inner column 5 lakh. Let's set off 5 lakh. ಶ್ರೇಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಲು ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ ಸಾರಿ ಕಣೆ 5 minus 5 outer column nil total 20 lakh. Next note, HP loss carry forward for next 7 years. 1 ವರ್ಷ ಡಬಲ್ ಗಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. HP loss carry forward for next 7 years. ಏನು ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು
3 lakh.
3 lakh.
3 lakh ಅಲ್ವಾ 3 lakh. Next business loss for next 7 years. ಎಷ್ಟು 1 lakh ಇರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
Yes, sir.
1 lakh ಅವಿಷಯ ಬಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ 6 lakh ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು 1 lakh ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ 6 ಉಳಿತು. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಟಿ ಶರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು 6 lakh ಮೇಲೆ 5 lakh 1 lakh. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? 1 lakh ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇನ್ನು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So inter source is in 70. Inter head is between two heads. So 71 to a business loss cannot be against salary income. House property loss restricted to 2 lakhs. ಈಗ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು 73A any number of years. 35A is specified business. Raise source only 4 years. Then carry forward house property 8 years, business 8 years, then capital loss 8 years, speculation 4 years. There cannot be better notes than what I gave there. Note code. Loss of firm should be carried forward only by firm. Section 80 return of loss to be compulsorily filed within 131 ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. However, it is not applicable on the ಮೂರನೇ ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು for allowances and 71B. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು 2 minutes ಬ್ರೀನ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಒಂದು 2 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನೋಡಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಎದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಯಾವಾಗಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ 9:40 9:50 ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ವಾ. Yeah, ready? Shall we? Why there is no power or you are in the terrace, Subna?
No power, sir.
No power, but you have power, no? Yes. Okay. So let us get into the question. July 21. ಅದು ಇದರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. So quickly, I'll just go to the answer. In ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಕೆಳಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಿಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಇರುತ್ತದೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ವಾ ಇನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಔಟ್ ತೆಗೆದೇ ಇರೋರು? ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸೋದಿಲ್ವಾ? ಟಿಲ್ ನಾವು ಯು ಡಿಡ್ಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಔಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಶನಿವಾರ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ವಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ವಾ? ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ರೆಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಸೋ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೇವ್ಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಮೊದಲು ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೀರಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಮನ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಔಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಟುಪಿಡ್ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ವಾ? ಇದಾನೆ ಇದು Jan 21 ನೋಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟಿಕ್. ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಔಟ್ ತೆಗಿದಿರ ಯಾರು?
Page 42.
Page 42 ನಾ?
Next 44.
ಓಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದೇನಾ?
Yes, sir. Next page.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೌದಮ್ಮ. ಸೊ ಓಕೆ ನಾನೇ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ ಪೇಜ್ 40 ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? ಆಶೀಶ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ 43 years. Now you should just tell me whether it is allowed or not allowed. Those are material ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲದವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನೆಸರ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಡಿಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ you could have told some of your family members to take the print out and keep it. Or are you saving 100-200 rupees? Xerox copy. I don't know. Illi 6 months is 50 lakh rupees ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಟರ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಬರೀ ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಟರ್ ಪಕ್ಕ ಬರೀ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು. ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಯಾರೋ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್, ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್, ಲೀಗಲ್, ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್, ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್, ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್, ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್, ಕಂಪನಿ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ, ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ. ಸೆಷನ್ ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಳಿಸೈತೆ ನನಗೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಜೆರಾಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ. ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ, ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮನೆಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಪಕ್ಕ ಬರೀ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಬರೀ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ July 21 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀ. 44 AA and 44 ಅಡ್ಡಾ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 58,80,000 ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಅದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದೇ ವುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಡ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೇ ವುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ P&L 13,43,000 ಇದೆ. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್. ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ PPF ಪಕ್ಕ ಬರೀ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟ್. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 10(11) ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ 10(12) ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. SPF and PPF is 10(11), 10(12) is RPF. 10 is the bracket 11. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ IFOS ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್. ಬಾಬಾ ಆಡ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದು ಮೈನಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟೆಡ್. ಇದು ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ರೀಸನ್. ಈಗ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ NSC 3rd year ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ಲೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇದು ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಇನ್ ETC. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ETC ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್. ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಜಾಗ ಇದ್ರೆ. NSC ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್, NSC ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ add only to IFOS. Earlier years add to IFOS and including 80C reinvestment salary chapter. The last chart ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. I said last year include only to IFOS because you are not reinvesting. Whereas here ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, first to 5th year add to IFOS and ETC include ಮಾಡಿ. Next, employees contribution and benefits should have an employers contribution ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರು ನೋಡೋಣ. Office and administration expense allowed, general expense allowed. Next, medical expenses. So medical expenses ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಟ್ ಅಲೌಡ್. ಇದು ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಲೌಡ್. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಲೌಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಪಕ್ಕ. Depreciation add back and consider what is given in the question. So next, expense on employee remuneration include family planning 20,000 rupees disallowed because it is not a company. Next, 25,000 per month to sister-in-law who was in charge of the accounts. Or compare similar work 40A2. But the sister-in-law is a relative. Yeah. Not included in the relative definition. She is not a relative. Sister-in-law is not a relative. Okay, definition of SPB. Sister, parent, brothers. Then the lineal descendant, descendant. Sister-in-law is not a relative. Important, extremely important. Next, amount received by Ashish as employee's contribution for the month of November was deposited after the due date. It is not allowed. So it should be added to the income. It should be disallowed. Employee contribution due date, it should be relevant act. relevant tax. Employer contribution ಗೆ 139.
139.
For employee contribution to any PF, ESI, first add, deduct if paid beyond 130, beyond relevant act. See, sorry, mistake I thought. Always add any PF, deduct if paid within relevant act. If paid within relevant act due date. Right side, employer's contribution. Employer's contribution within the bracket only to approved funds. Your PF Galaila 139.1 43B. Swapna. If paid this year, it is allowed. If paid next year allowed. TD. Shai is coming. Now all of you go to that note somewhere. Left side allowance, right side disallowance barkondo hodri ನೀವು 40 capital ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬರಿ disallowance, all provisions and reserves disallowed. Provision is disallowed, reserve is disallowed. Sabna, you are still looking fairer than me. No worry. Okay, me with the light, you are without light. It's okay. Yeah, continue. Medical expenses, ETD, is for the father who is 72-year-old and is not covered. Okay, it is paid by account paycheck, cash kodangilla. So you can claim 50,000 deduction, 80D. Medical expense 50,000 because senior citizen. Next, 25,000 paid to Anjalini as a commission for second worker. This payment was made to her without deduction of tax. So, Pakabari commission ge 194 HLA 15,000 above 15,000 5%, above 15,000 1.5. Hence 30% disallowed. Yes, 30%. Presumed to be resident data. Next, WDV. Professional books, ಎಷ್ಟು percentage depreciation? 40%. Computer also 40%. You can add those two. Along mele furniture ittu. Furniture ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? Next, new furniture appearing in IND account was purchased on 31st August. Pakabari more than 180 days. 18,000 paid in cash. So adu kodangilla. Next, 19,000 paid by account paycheck. Adu sigutte. 11,000 paid in cash for the transporter as freight charges for new furniture. All of you go to the notes book. ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಪೇಜ್ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು 2 ಲೈನ್ ಬರೆದ್ರಿ ಅರ್ಧ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಹೊಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರೀರಿ. Cash payment normal limit 10,000. Cash payment normal limit 10,000. Semicolon. For GTA, goods transport agency, or freight. Goods transport or freight, it is 35,000. Underline. And then parallel example, adu complement special point. Next, Bari 44 AD, digital collection within 139(1) due date. Digital collection within 139(1) due date. 6%. Correct? Next, employee contribution to any PF. Employee contribution to any PF. 15th of next month. Any PFESI, 15th of next month. Else PD, permanently disallowed. Next, employer's contribution. Employer's contribution to approved employee funds. Within 139(1). 139(1) ಒಳಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. Semicolon. Else TD. Allowed in the year of payment. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ನು ಡ್ಯೂ ಡೇಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ? ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಡ್ಯೂ ಡೇಟ್ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಡೇಟ್. ಆ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ 1 or 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ MCQ ಒರ್ಸ್ಕೊಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ, ನೀವು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. 139(1), sorry, due date versus Srinivas specified date. 2 RMRs. 139(1) for what? ITR. For ITR. 1 by 1. Transfer pricing. Transfer pricing SSEs, including partners of transfer pricing firm. Firm ಗೆ transfer pricing ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಅದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, including partners of transfer pricing SSEs. When due date for filing ITR?
30th November.
30th November of AY. 30th November of AY. Transfer pricing SSEs, including partners repeat that what you written.
Transfer pricing SSE, including partners of transfer pricing. 30th November.
Including partners of the firm bar spouse. Language ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾನು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟು ಇಟ್. ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಬಾರ್ ಸ್ಪೌಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 5A ಅಂತ ಬರೀ. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 5A ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಪ್ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ SSE, including partners. I repeat the entire sentence. Transfer pricing SSE, including partners of the firm bar spouse of the partner covered under section 5A. ಅದು ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 5A ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ. ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಕೋಡ್ 5A. ಅದೇ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. 5A ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ರೇಟ್ 30th November of AY. Read what you written. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಯಾರಾದ್ರು ಶ್ರೇಯಬರೇ ಬರ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Transfer pricing SSE, including partners of firm or spouse of partner covered under section 5A of transfer pricing firm.
Transfer pricing ಬೇಡ, section 5A ಅಚ್ಚಾ 5A transfer pricing firm ಬೇಡ. 30th November of AY. Next, small b, company, comma, any SSE covered under audit, comma, partners of such audit firm, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Partners of such audit firm. Sapna, if it is disturbing, you can switch off the video. Comfortable, huh? Okay. Right, yeah. If this light is not there, don't disturb our eyes. So, partners of the firm found the tax audit, the comma, section 5A, dash rate 31st October of AY. ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು, ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನಾಳೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ 31st October of AY. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ. every company, comma, any audit SSC, comma, partner of the tax audit, comma, 5A, sorry, 5A spouse, whatever, 31st October. All other SSCs, 31st July.
31st July.
31st July. Complete right side, specified date, defined, will define specified date as specified date, explanation to 44AB. Explanation to 44AB, that is for furnishing audit reports. For furnishing audit reports under 44AB, 10AA, etc. Specified date is the word. Under 10AA, 44AB, etc. 1 month before 139(1). Income return file ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ left ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 139(1) ಗಿಂತ 1 month before. Stupid amendment ಅದು, but can't help it. 1 month before 139(1) due date. That is 31st October and 30th September only. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 31st July audit case ಅಲ್ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? 31st October and 30th September only. ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಬರೋದು ಬೇಗ ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಬರೋದು, ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ we don't compromise on our professional ethics. So transporter ಬಂದಾಗ 11,000 cash also okay. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 35,000 limited transporter. Next, Ashi purchased a car for personal use. However, on 30th April, he bought the said car for his profession. The fair market value on that 2,50,000 rupees. So you can claim a depreciation on that asset from that period, 30th April. The 2020 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, 2020 is 1 year later because it's the last year amendment. You have to go by 21-22. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮಾಶಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ 1 lakh to PPF. PPF ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ETC. Is professional gross professional receipts estimated gross professional receipts were 52 lakh. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? No 44 ಅಡ್ಡ. 44 ಅಡ್ಡ ಬರೋದು if it is below 50 lakh. Above 50 lakh ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Ignore AMT and section 14A ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So ನಾವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So net profit as per so and so, family plan expenditure fully disallowed I said. Full detail ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಟೋಟಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ನೋಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ? ಯಾ, ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ನಾನ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್. ಶಿ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರು ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 48 ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು PF 1 day ಡಿಲೇ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಗೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಅಲೌಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಲೌಡ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 80D ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಅಲೌಡ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್. ಸೊ 25,000 into 30% ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ. 184H ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಾ? ಓದಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ. ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಪೇಡ್ ಆಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಫ್ರೈಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಲೆನೋವಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ 3,35,000 ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡು ಇಟ್. ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ರೆಲೆವೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ PPF ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅದರ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ SB ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, NSC ಆಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು PPF, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. NSC ಥರ್ಡ್ ಇಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೀಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ 1,50,000 ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, 121 ಇರೋದು. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು 50,000 rupees ಅಲೌಡ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಎನಿ SB ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ETTTಗೆ 10,000 rupees ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಬುಡ್ಡ ಆದ್ರೆ SB ಅಥವಾ FD ETTTB 50,000 ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಪ್ ಟು 10 lakh 1 lakh ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟೇಷನ್. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್?
Yes, sir.
Hello, mic testing 1 5.
Okay.
So till business income, capital gain bitto till set off and carry forward ಓದ್ಕೊ. So from the introduction till set off and carry forward ಆಗಿದೆ ನಮ್ದು. ಎಷ್ಟಾದಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿ capital gain ಓದ್ಬೇಡಿ. So tomorrow I'll be reading that capital gain and residual theory. Okay. Then Anish sir will be taking the portion. So GST portion also you can cover up. Full cover ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನಾಳೆ ಒಳಗಿಂದ, because you will still give a time up to Friday evening. Saturday afternoon ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪ್ರಿಫರೆಬ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ GST ನ ಇವತ್ತೇ ನಾಳೆ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಉಳಿದ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕವರ್ ಅಪ್ ಮೇಬಿ ಆನ್ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ, ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ, ಫ್ರೈಡೆ. ಸೊ ಟುಮಾರೋ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ವೆಡ್ನಸ್ಡೇ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವೆಡ್ನಸ್ಡೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೆಡ್ನಸ್ಡೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ, ಫ್ರೈಡೆ, ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ವರೆಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಯೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕವರ್ ಅಪ್, ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫುಲ್ ಪೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಐ ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೈರಿಂಗ್, ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ. ನಾನು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 6:45 ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಪ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದು. I didn't take class. After that also constantly ನಮ್ಮ ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ ಟುಡೇ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಿಸಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ವಿ 2:30, 3 o'clock ವರೆಗೆ. ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇನ್ನು ಮಿಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇನ್ನು. ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಮಗೂ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಕಷ್ಟ ಹಂಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂತ, ಬಟ್ ಯೋಗ ಸುದರ್ಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ 1 ಗಂಟೆ ಐ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ ಕೀಪ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್, ಕೀಪ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್, ವಿಲ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಆನ್. ಓಕೆ ಜೋಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವೇಂದ್ರ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಗ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಳೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಹಿಂಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಾ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ, ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ, ಸಂಡೇ 3 things I did something very unique ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಾ. Friday we had a meeting with our office people, ಮಸ್ತ್ ಮಜಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದೆ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2.5 years almost we went to watch movie Kashmir Files. Okay, so disturbing but okay, can't help it. Sunday went back to my Lal Bagh, so to meet some people there. So ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜೋಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಯಾರದು. ಓಕೆ right, I'm not into politics, I don't want to get into politics, but jokes ಯಾರ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು. ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ಸ್. ಇದೆಯಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಓದಿ ಸಿರಿ ಇವಳು ಓದೆ ಶ್ರೇಯಾ, ದೀಪ ಯಾರು?
Instead of creating separate files like the Kashmir files, the Bengal files, the Sikh files, it's better to create the Congress folder, because in that folder all files will come up.
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಫೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಅದೇ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ವಿಷಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ಬದಲು ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಸಮ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ರೈಟ್ ಆರ್ ಹಂಗ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. ಸಿಂಧಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾರಂತ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಓದಮ್ಮ.
Simply Sindhi. Teacher asked a Sindhi student, you have rupees 4,000 and your best friend messages you saying, I need 2,000. Then your wife messages you, I need 1,000. What are you left with? Sindhi, 4,000 and 200 messages.
4,000 and what? 200 messages. Yeah. ಇದು ತೋರಿಸಿದಾರಿನೇ. It sounds like Kerala. Correct, now Kerala no Swapna. Okay, so awesome. This is the last one for the day.
ತಮ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದು ಒಂಚೂರು ಈ ಬಾಟ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಒಂಚೂರು ಕೂಡುದು ಸಿಹಿ ಇದ್ದ ಯಾರು ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳು.
ಇದು ಸೇಮ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹಾ ಕೊಡು. ಉಪ್ಪು ಒಗರು ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಿಹಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂಚೂರು ವಾಜ. ಎಂತ ಕೋವು? ಹಾ ಮತ್ತೆಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಹಿ ಮೂತ್ರ ಇದ್ದ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋ ಹೇಳಿ ಮೂತ್ರ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಮೂತ್ರ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊ ಬಂದೆ, ಸಿಹಿ ಇದ್ದ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಹತ್ರ ನೋಡು ಅಂತ.
It is same person, please observe. So doctor suggested you go for diabetic test. I don't want to explain that. Okay, so relax and chill. We'll meet on Tuesday evening. Until then, bye, see you, enjoy. Yeah, God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.